Good evening, folks. Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm just checking that we are on. The cameras are on. The lighting is at least adequate, if not great. The dog is missing. She's not here. Little bugger down the bottom of the bed won't get back on the bed or in the bed. Okay, folks, we'll give it a minute or two as we do while people arrive. Hands are cold. Very, and the beer's very cold. And I haven't got any coffee with me this evening. I should have done that. I just had time. I just didn't think. Cheers to those that are here early, all one of you. People are starting to arrive. Better late than never. Yeah, I fell asleep. I had an alarm set. Alarm went off at 9:30. Woke. I thought it was tomorrow already. The alarm clock woke me up. I was having the most fantastic deep sleep, and suddenly I fell back asleep, and suddenly it was way after 10. I thought, I'll go live at 11. I walked the dog, and when I got back, I thought 11:30 instead of 11. And now my dog's over there messing about with me. She's on the floor. She just had her food and water, and now she won't get back into bed. Can I go? Hey, babe. Daddy loves this girl. She says no, she prefers to lay on the floor down there, so for now I'll let her. Not doing any harm. Hannah, hello again. Okay, folks. Please do join us in chat. So that's where all the fun is. That's where all the excitement happens. Let me do the intro. I am Delta Mike. The channel is Delta Mike Down and Out in Torrevieja. As I said, Delta Mike, that's me. Down and out. Well, that's a saying that means a homeless guy, a tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some might say a bum. Someone who lives rough, sleeps rough, perhaps on the streets, or in my case, in a field. So that's Delta Mike, that's the down and out. Torrevieja, that's a city on the southeast coast of Spain. Costa Blanca South, about 1 hour south of Alicante, 2 hours away from Benidorm, if you know the area. There we go, folks. That's us. There's me. There's my doggie. Hey, babe. Hello. You gonna hop up? I don't think you are you? Doesn't look like it. So there we go, folks. Let's get on with this thing. Those of you that were there earlier when I did the cookery stream, it was about as successful as most of my cookery streams are, or cookery videos are. It took longer than expected. I got a lot of food. I've got 2 Tupperwares here. I've got food for at least the next 2 days, maybe 3. Didn't all go according to plan, but trying to cook a big meal over a single gas ring in a field without enough pans, it's the usual. If you've seen my cooking, I don't even think I've marked it. I haven't tagged this one as a cookery. It hasn't finished, because I didn't do 4 hours. It hasn't finished being processed yet. It's still caught up in the YouTube system. I'll re-tag it and make sure it's part of the Cooking with a Tramp playlist at some point. But for now, it is what it is. Yeah. She's got another 12 months in her. I would like to hope so. I'd like to think so. I'm not sure. Some things are starting to go wrong, and I'm hoping it's not just. Well, I'm hoping it is just habit, whilst at the same time being annoyed if it is just habit. She's doing some things wrong, and I think it's part of the general decline that we're seeing, but I can't be sure. She may just have got an idea in her head that something's allowable that ordinarily wouldn't be, and it's a little bit. You don't finish your food. Oh no, I gave her a bone a couple of days ago. I think she's picking up. She broke the whole thing down, but there's some little shards of bone lying around on the floor by the door. So it could be that. It could be that. Okay. What are we going to talk about, folks? I really haven't got, because I've been asleep until about an hour ago, maybe just over. Then I had things to do. I haven't got anything pre-planned. So we're going to have to wing this one, as we sometimes do. I did download a list of topics and questions the other day. So if we get really stuck, I haven't reviewed it like I said I was going to. I was going to go through the list and pick out the talking points or the questions that might have some value. I haven't done that yet, but we can try and do that on the fly if we need to. But I'd rather we had more people here hitting the thumbs up, if you haven't already. Hitting the thumbs up and asking questions. Take part in chat. That's what I was about to say earlier, wasn't it? When you're in chat, folks, don't just leave it set to the default, to the standard setting of top chat. Don't do it. You will miss posts. Some posts will be filtered out by that. You want to select the other option, the all messages, or however it's worded on your particular, whether you're on the internet, whether you're on a Android app or a Apple app. The wording varies. For me, it's live chat, all messages are visible. That's the one to pick, because if you don't, you'll be missing out on some of the... oh, look at that, it won't even scroll all the way back to the beginning for me. That's interesting. There's YouTube for you. Everything is broken all the time. Okay, folks. Questions, topics, what's in the news, what's happening? What's the weather like where you are? Where are you? Let's just get the thing going with a bit of chit chat, and maybe I'll find a topic to wander off on a tangent from. If you've been here before, you know that happens. Tangents and tangents from tangents. Hey babe, are you ready to get back into bed? You look like you're facing this way. Hey, you're gonna get, if I move the blanket, so you're gonna get back in? Give us a second, folks, we might have progress. Come on, babe. Oh, fuck. Ah, no. Are you still there? Fuck. Disaster. The blanket caught the lead that's, the blanket caught the recharging lead for the USB lead, and then when the phone fell, it knocked over one of the cans holds the light. Bit of a disaster. Nothing spilled, no accidents. All a little bit. I'm just gonna get my Tina or at least see if she wants to come back. Come on, babe. This way. Come on. What's this? Come on, you got. I can only meet you halfway. You have to make an effort. Tina girl. Come on. No. Okay, babe. You stay there then. As long as it's what you want. That's a failed attempt, folks. I thought she was looking this way like she wanted to get back up and on the bed, but apparently not. So now, all of that hassle, all of that moving blankets and shit was in vain. I do apologise, folks. Still no doggy darling. Half of the double act is missing. And just moving my leg has made my sock come off my foot, which is suboptimal. What the fuck? Oh, okay. There's a hole in my sock and my foot came out of the hole at the side. Couldn't pull my sock back up. Still can't. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, that's the trials and tribulations of a tramp. That would make a good book title. Someone should write that book. Trials and Tribulations of a Tramp. Oh. When your foot goes in your sock but comes out of the hole in your sock instead of going down and into the bottom. Who knew? You're caught invite, aren't you tempted? No, mate, I'm tempted to write one of your pieces of paper and present that to them. Hannah retracted her message, deleted a message. Did you do what I sometimes do? You're in two different things. You got a video watching, but there's a message coming in, and you type something in that's meant for WhatsApp, but you type it into the video, into the chat. Done that more than once. I'm the other way around. I've typed while chatting with a friend while watching I've posted to WhatsApp something meant for the chat on the video. It was a most inopportune. It was a really, the context was all wrong. It was really bad. Candle-free zone. I have had a candle in here this winter, but it was a fairly big. It was in a pot, and it only lasted 4 days of a couple of hours each day. What's all the noise? Hey, babe, you coming this way? She's looking at me. Are you hopping up? Hop up on the bed. I'm not sure. She's a bit in between me. I'll wait for a firm signal that she wants to come back. Hey? Hey, babe, come and talk to Daddy. She's looking more likely. Let me try. I'll try not to knock the phone over again. Let me try again though. Hey, babe, you're gonna hop up for me. Come on. Yes. Come on. Hop up. I'm not going to drag you all the way up from there. You have to meet me halfway. You know, girl. Come on now. You can't spend the whole night down there. Come on. Hey, babe, what's wrong? Why are you not coming back to me? What is it? You know, girl. No? Okay, I don't get it. I don't know what's different about tonight. But apparently we're not getting back into bed. At all. Ever. You're going to sleep there all night. Let me know when you get cold. I'm not coming down there to cuddle you. You'll have to get back up here to cuddle me. Eh? I don't know, folks. I don't know what's wrong with her. It's my Tina. And she's in a funny mood. Oh. Okay, folks. What are we going to talk about then? What about the after effects of the big storm? Have we still got snow on the ground? Has it melted and gone away yet? Charging slowed due to low temperature. Okay. That's different, but we're on 98%, so that's not gonna hold us back. Oh, just holding the tablet though, folks. Just holding the tablet. It is icy. Icy as in cold. I mean, it's not literally icy. What is the temperature currently? Let's find out. Weather forecast says 10 degrees. Falling to 8 overnight. Now the thermometer was here the last few days. Today not. I don't know how it does this. Where's it gone? Let me just have a look. No. So if you remember a few weeks ago I lost 3 batteries. They were on the edge of the bed here. On this edge, the left edge of the bed. And then they were gone, and I thought, oh, they must have fallen over, and I couldn't find them. I just found 2 of them, yes, the bottom right hand corner of the bed. I presume the third one's there somewhere, but I can't, digging around, I can't find it so far. But it's going to be there or thereabouts. But it's highly annoying when you lose stuff in the bedroom, next to or on the bed, and it takes weeks for them to re-emerge. Just declare yourself as a living being. Your blood fingerprint is your true ID. and ask judge for his bond and oath and sureties. I got no idea what that means. So you want me to just state these things and they'll just DNA fingerprint me then to make sure that I'm me. Your blood fingerprint is your true ID. I am me, my blood says so. Judge, let's have a look at your bond, oath and sureties. Sounds like hokum to me, mate, but we know, we've had this discussion a few times now. Tina girl, what's all the noise? What are we doing? Wouldn't it be easier to turn 90 degrees to face me instead of turning 270? Oh, now you've got your paws on the bed. You want to get in now, do you? You're going to come and talk to the peoples? They're all waiting for you. I think so. Let's have a see, guys, whether we're more successful this time. Oh, what's this, third or fourth time already? Come on. Come on, hop up. Come on. I got you. Come on. Come on. I got you. Nearly. A bit more this way. A bit more. I got you. I got you. Hello. You come back to bed with me. Wait. Whoa, you Tina girl. Gone off the edge. What is it with you and the side of the bed? Come in. No, you're coming this way. This way. Come on. You're coming this way. Up you go. Come on, I got you. Just give me a second, sweetheart. I need to put the blankets back. Then I'll scuttle over a little bit out of your way. Give you more room, okay? Okay. It's okay. Not angry. I'm angry with you. You're okay. It's a little bit weird the way you're behaving, but okay. You're okay. Let's get you tucked in. Did I say little monster? Yeah? Okay. She gets on the bed and immediately tries to go into the little ditch to the side of the bed. The little gutter between the bed and the tent. Outer wall. Oh, I'll shuffle over, look. There's a bit more room for you, yeah? Okay. Can we bring the camera over and introduce you to the peoples? You gonna say hello? I don't think so. I don't think she wants to, folks. She's in one of those moods. She's not interested in you right now. Maybe after 10 minutes in bed. Are you under the covers? Or are you... head out? Keep your head out. Hey, babe. Okay. Settle down. Excitement over. I got you. I got my girl. Yeah, you fell off the bed. You fell off the bed. Okay, babe. Yeah, you give me a hand a kiss. Whoa, steady. Okay, I've got to go talk to the peoples. I'm talking to the peoples. If you're not going to talk to them, I have to. One of us has to entertain everybody. Hello, folks. This is a bit of a late one, isn't it? We're starting really late compared to normal. Normal time is about 10. Sometimes start at 9, sometimes 10:30. This one we start at 11:30 my time. That's a little bit later than normal. How was your food you had earlier? Was it not? It was gorgeous. I couldn't. So the first plateful I only got halfway through. I was absolutely. I'd been nibbling while cooking, as I think you saw. But yeah, the food was gorgeous. The Yorkshire pudding was still a little. Well, not dense, but it did rise at the sides, but I did end up having to flip it again because it wasn't cooking fully in the middle. So that changes the shape of things. It didn't have as much of a bowl shape as I wanted. I wanted to put my food in the Yorkshire pudding bowl. But it was nice enough for what it was. The potatoes, again, I didn't roast them long enough for fry, I guess. I'd parboiled them, hadn't I? I didn't fry them long enough, so they were nice for what they were, but they weren't quite as. But considering this was meant to be like the redemption arc, this was meant to be me fixing the things that didn't go well Christmas, when I did the Christmas dinner post. Nice enough. Wasn't an improvement on the. I don't think it was overall an improvement on what I did Christmas dinner when I did that post a couple of weeks back. I think it's the combination of trying to do so much on one ring and doing things and then setting them to one side and having them sit there, and then you go back. But I've got a lot of food waiting to be eaten over the next couple of days. I just paused because I don't remember whether I poured the lentils into my Tupperware or not. I did way too many lentils. But the gravy that I did, that was all okay with the Bisto stock cubes and then not Bisto, Bovril. Can't remember my words. So yeah, it was very nice, very filling. I think ordinarily after eating that much, I would have a midnight snack with another course, another round. But I'm still stuffed. I guess I ate it later than... sometimes I would eat something like that. If I prepared a big meal like that, I would do it... I'd be prepping it in the morning. Have I got movement in here? That's not Tina. It doesn't feel like there's a wind, so what am I listening to? I don't know. I don't know. If there was a wind, everything would move. There was just a noise over that away. And now it's stopped, who knows. I still haven't prepped to the mouse traps. I'm gonna put 2 of them over there tomorrow morning. And we'll see how those go. Present that BDW affidavit to the judge. This takes away jurisdiction and subject matter which all courts need. Don't agree to the name on the paperwork. How do you not agree to it? So if they present me with something, do I refuse it? Or do I sign and say accepted but I'm not that? How do you refuse the name? Don't you then have to just refuse the entire piece of paper? I don't know, mate. Okay, the numbers are low. We are late getting started, so I think that's going to impact things. Let me see. Nobody's answered about what the weather's like back home or back where you are. 10 degrees falling to 8 still, okay. Now, let me go into my notes from the other day then. Where's the stuff that I downloaded? Okay. Here's some random topics from AI on Google the other night, wasn't it? I can't answer that one. What does your perfect Saturday look like? It asked. It doesn't look like sitting on a fucking field. Okay, it's about as far as we got last time. What's something you're excited about in the future? We answered that the other day about all the science and things that are happening. I'm nearly at the bottom of the list. That was a short list. It mustn't have copied over properly. Quick and easy starters. These are not going to work. What are you currently watching on TV or reading? Currently, I'm here with you guys. There is no watching TV or reading. I am. Okay, if we say currently as in not this instant. I think I mentioned the other day, I am currently going through some old TV series. So at the minute I'm going through I've got War of the Worlds on in the background. Not on in the background now, but I keep revisiting. There was a TV series in I think the early 90s, War of the Worlds. I'm currently revisiting season 2 of that. I'm watching The Equalizer. I'm trying to get through. I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through the first season, or first series, we would say in the UK, of that. I don't think I've got much else that's ongoing. I've still got Person of Interest downloaded, season 1, and I can't get past episode 10 or 11. Really just isn't. I love that program, and somehow I just can't get into it at the minute. I'm not. It's not like I can watch an episode and binge watch 3 or 4 episodes. I'm getting nowhere with it. It's sitting there for months, and I'm still stuck on 10 or 11 episode 10 or 11. Don't know what that's about. I don't know why I'm being like that, but that is what it is. Is there anything else? I recently just finished watching Kenny Everett Video Show, the ITV TV program from, I think it's from 1979, something like that. What else? Got loads on my external hard drive. Got lots of stuff stored, as well as a lot of my backups of videos and live streams. Got a lot of those backed up onto the hard drive. So I should thank Owen again for that. That's going back a while now. Do you remember I had about a year and a half where I couldn't use the hard drive? It had a minor error on it, and the various devices I've got wouldn't work with it until I connected it to a laptop and got that fixed. Now it's in full use, because all of the disk space, as it were, on the all of the disk space on the phone and the tablet pretty much used up. So I'm constantly getting told, you're running out of space, move things, clear space. Field got so many balconies to choose from out there. There's many balconies overlooking me, but I am still just sat in a field, yeah. Okay, Hannah says it's still bloody cold in the UK. The storm has gone now. Okay. I'm glad it's stabilised then, and that I don't think I heard of any deaths. I don't think there was, this red alert stuff, these red warnings that mean risk to life. I heard about one guy who had a tree fall on his car, but it bounced off. Can't have been the biggest of trees or heaviest. Yeah, no, I'm glad everyone seems to have come through unscathed. There's probably quite a few places with damage, trees falling into gardens, but I haven't heard of like a tree falling onto a house or anything too bad. So that's good, I guess. No damage, no serious damage, no loss of life. A few days before, or a week before, some people were swept out to sea, or I think that was somewhere up Humberside way. But that wasn't this storm. That was a precursor. That was bad stuff before this. Glad everyone's okay, folks. I'm glad everyone's okay. What are you guys watching on TV? Have you guys got anything that you're currently? Are you going through whole series? When you sit down and binge watch a whole series of something. You got anything on? Hannah and Keith, I guess. Are you the only guys that are active in chat? I think so. You've almost gone with yourselves, folks. Let me have I will revisit my little list of questions here. I talked more there about TV and stuff than I thought I was going to. I have been listening a little bit, audio books of The Secret Seven, something that I read. I read the whole lot one summer while in a caravan in Cleethorpes. We'd buy 2 or 3 of the books at a local shop and go, and the next day go back and buy the next two, and went through the whole lot. Um, and I think I was reading the Famous Five as well back then. Um, I view them mainly as girl books, but when you're in a caravan and you've got hour after hour and nothing else to do. So I remember reading What Katie Did and What Katie Did Next. Basically, you're bored, your sister's books are sat there. Why would you not? Oh gosh. Next question on the list. What's your go-to comfort food? Comfort food. Something quick and easy to just grab. Boiled ham sandwiches. Boiled ham and mustard sandwiches. Takes no effort, does it really? Smear a bit of mustard. Whether you butter the bread or not, as I always used to butter back in the before times, before I was homeless. I would, when I say butter, I mean the act of spreading either a butter or a margarine on the bread. Margarine's generally easier. It amazes me that Americans don't use either butter or margarine generally when they have a sandwich. They'll reach for ranch or mayo or hot sauce or I don't know. Seems to, from what I can gather, it seems that they just don't butter their bread. Weird, but anything you can just grab easily. So yeah. Beans on toast if you want to do a bit more effort. Ain't got TV viewing, says Keith. You don't have a TV or you just don't watch the TV? The show must go on. This is true. I do love to revisit those old TV series though. Airwolf, Knight Rider, Street Hawk. I said I watched a couple of years back. I watched the A-Team all the way through. I think that's probably on the hard drive back there. I haven't checked if something's gone wrong or not, but what was that TV show I was watching earlier in the year? High Potential? She was a cleaner in a police station. She was super smart. And she started editing. She knocked a folder or a file. She knocked a file on the floor and the papers went everywhere. And she gathered them all together. And then she just left a few notes on like a whiteboard for them. And she got in trouble initially. But then they realised how super smart she was, and I like that kind of thing. The smartest person in the room. House. Sherlock Holmes. Upon which House is based. That's why it's called House. It's a pun. It's a play on home. Holmes, House. Name another smartest man in the room. There's a few of them. What was that program called? The guy that could read. When he asked a question, there'd be little ticks and little. I can't remember what that's called. But people's reactions, he would read and could solve cases by spotting when someone was lying and what have you. All of that kind of, lots of that kind of stuff. There was is it called Sherlock? The American version of Sherlock. No, Sherlock was the British Elementary. The American program with the British guy, Johnny Lee Miller, as a Sherlock Holmes character. I like that. I like anything like that. The smart guy. Because I like to pretend that I'm a smart guy, even though I know I'm not. I don't think I think I've gone back to a previous question and didn't answer the one I just read. No. 9939. Oh! Telling everyone my PIN number. So, go to comfort food. I went off on one, didn't I? Sandwiches, shit you just grab. But I mean, if it doesn't involve any work on my part, I do love a full English. Thank you, Anthony. I do love just being presented with a full English. I love black pudding. I guess that's a different answer. Do you have any pets? I think we all know the answer to that one. Hey, Tina. You're still not ready to talk to the peoples. They come just to see you. Are you breathing? You are, but only just. Bloody hell, I couldn't tell that you were there. Oh, screen's gone blank. Are you a morning person or a night owl? That's the last. I only downloaded one page of the questions apparently. Are you a morning person or a night owl? What do you think, folks? I just started a live stream at 11:30 at night. Am I a morning person or am I a night owl? Very much a night owl, always have been. Some of those nights when I was at university. Gosh, do I say this? When you've had a bit of coursework, you've had some kind of project going on the whole term, and you're supposed to turn the paperwork in tomorrow, and you've been sitting on it for 3 months. I'll do it tomorrow. Later. And you get to the night before and you haven't started yet. You've got things organised. You've got, roughly speaking, where you're going to go with it and what you're going to write, but you just haven't started. And so it gets to like 6 or 7 at night, and you're still thinking, yeah, I'll do that soon. Somewhere around 9 o'clock, you finally decide you better make a start. And you know that you've got 12 hours. It's only 9 o'clock in the evening. You've got until 9 or 10 tomorrow morning. What's your problem? It's 12 or 13 hours away. What the fuck? And you eventually make a start, and you're sitting there, and you're working away. 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. My wife brought me a cup of coffee, and I think she told me she was off to bed, and 2 hours later the coffee still sat there untouched. And she comes down to kind of check on me because she knows I'm a bit stressed. She puts this coffee in the microwave and brings it back through. Another hour and a half later, she pops down again to check. Still not taking a single sip of this fucking coffee. Into the microwave, heats it up some more. And you get to 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then you click the button and send it to the printer. And you have a half-hour nap and then take it in on the bus at 8:30, 9 o'clock the next morning. Apart from your participating role, see, I'm a traitor, I'm participating with the enemy. What's your relative highlight for 2026? God, mate. 2026 is like the last few years. The plan is just to survive. It's a holding plan until circumstances change such that I can attempt to move forward. I don't think enough of my ducks are in a line at the minute for me to try anything just yet. Okay. I think there's a moth or something in between the bedroom and the tent. So I know it's a holding pattern still for now, unless I'd like to, I mean, if I could get access to my money back home, that would be an amazing, that would change everything. Then I could get lawyers, then I could get things, then I could get out of here. If I could get out of the country and then fight the cases hanging over me from elsewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look back. What were the highlights of 2025? 2025 seems to have come and gone without me noticing. When I think back over the last year, the things I remember are the storms. When I was in a broken tent and my bed got wet through. When my mattresses were directly on the floor and we had a real bad storm. The tent had water coming in through the floor as they always do. And bottom mattress was absolutely soaking. I thought, I'm safe on the top mattress. What I didn't realise was how much of a... See, when I'm laying here now with you, I'm being pulled into the middle because there's such an impression, and I was basically, I'm laying on the bottom of the mattress, not the top. It's indented so much, such a big indentation. So when the bottom mattress was absorbing water like a sponge, and I was laying in this depression, and I got wet within the bed. Any exes turned up there to say hello. I did bump into a lady from Spain that I met in Spain maybe about 6 months ago. She was walking a dog and said hello. Nobody from Britain has come over to say hello. Farmer, hello mate. Welcome saying hello. So yeah, I met an ex from over here, but it's obviously very awkward. I didn't want to say that I was the bloke in the tent in the next field. Yeah, no. So yeah, there you go, folks. I guess. Do you think I should repeat the experiment? I didn't know I'd only downloaded one page of those questions the other day when we asked Google for random questions. Well, what are we going to call it? Random conversation topics or questions? Topics or questions? Just a quiet stream tonight, folks. I started really late, 11:30 my time, for one reason or another. Mainly because I was cooking earlier. And then after, I came in here and just fell straight asleep. I've been asleep ever since, I think. Oh, those are short. More. Can I type? Do you think I can type long list at the beginning? Well, no. What just happened? It took one letter. Long list of. That's better. That's better. Oh, somebody farted. It might have been me. I couldn't possibly admit to it. Where are we? No. There we go. Copy. Where's the prompt for copy? Here we go. No? Really? I just swore I got it. I copied, now I'm going to paste. That's not right. Paste with formatting. So we keep the bullet points. That was the thing that we did wrong the last time, yeah? There's the old list, there's the new list. Okay, folks, if we haven't got any topics from you guys, I'm going to have to wing it a little bit. Let me just double check that I haven't missed anything there. Any herbs? Did you eat all that food with a lot of lentils? The lentils, I think I've packed into the... I'm hoping I've packed into the Tupperware and haven't let them go to waste. I ate the food that I cooked. No, I didn't. I didn't eat it all. So I've got 2 Tupperwares over there. One is the half of the plate that I couldn't finish, and one is the other stuff that was left over. So I've got food, I think, for the next 2 days, maybe the next 3. I had a good belly full of food. I ate all I could. I didn't inflict that on you guys because no teeth means the jaw is... Yeah, no, it's not the best view in the world. It's very nice. It was tasty. What were the weaknesses with it? The Yorkshire pud, again, I had to turn over. I had to flip. I don't like having to flip the Yorkshire pudding. But so far, I haven't been able to find a way to make the Yorkshire pudding work in a frying pan. Dentures aren't broken. No, they're in a bag over here somewhere. I haven't put them in since the beginning of COVID. So when COVID happened and you didn't have to go out anywhere, I got out of the habit of putting my dentures in. And basically, what I noticed was, when you first put the dentures in, your speech is all lispy and awkward, whistly. And so for the first hour after you put them in, you can't speak properly. And when you come to take them out on an evening, for the first hour, you can't speak properly. And you're constantly going between 2 different modes of speech, and it takes time for your mouth to adapt. So I just stopped putting them in. I don't need new. I mean, they're in my, what do you call it, toiletries bag, which I think has just fallen over the back here somewhere. But they cost me, I think they cost me about £1.50. I just don't use them. I don't see the point in putting them in and then having to spend an hour not being able to talk properly. And then having to be careful about if you have a hot coffee and the glue that you've put them in with goes all plastic, moldable again, it goes soft again with the heat, and then they start dropping out, and you haven't to kind of push them back in or use your tongue to hold them in place. If you eat peanuts or something and little bits get under the plate and suddenly your teeth are dropping out, go to a friend's house, spend 6 or 7 hours out of the house, have a day out, and by the end they're falling out. And in Spain, it's so hot, you can't just carry the little tube of fixative, the Fixodent or whatever you want to call it, because in your pocket in the heat, that shit starts melting and leaking out of the little fucking tube, and suddenly your pocket's all gunked up. So I've got used to speaking without them. I get little lisps when I say s, but far preferable to what I had. Teeth in, teeth out, teeth in, teeth out, run out of glue. Oh, I'm gonna have to take them out, put them in my pocket. Hope I don't break them while they're in my pocket. Oh, they're broken. Pay to get them fixed. Karen is watching Shaving Ryan's Privates. Okay. Get those modified to anchor. Oh, when you get the implants and yeah, it's £2 per implant, isn't it? Still, yeah, no. And they recommend that you have like 4 on each jaw, 2 this side, 2 that side on the uppers, and 2 and 2. So you got to pay for 8 implants just to secure your dentures in place. I had a friend who got the implants, and rather than having the falsies like secured in, they were like magnets, and his upper and lower dentures were held in by magnets, and he could still take them out at night. But the amount of money you have to spend to get the implants, 8 lots of £1.50 or £2. That's beyond me. Even in the times when I was working, I wouldn't have spent that. It's the original version, not the porno version. Shaving Ryan's Privates. I've never heard of it. I don't know what you're on about. Auntie Karen in chat. Auntie Karen on the phone. That's got your attention. Now that you finally got into bed with Daddy. Let's see whether we can introduce you to the world. Make you a superstar. You know these people only come here for you. Couldn't get her into bed at the beginning, folks. For those of you that weren't here, and none of you were hardly. Hold on. She was down off the bottom of the bed over there where a bowl is, and she wouldn't get back into bed. But here she is now, look. She's magnified a bit. I have to move the phone away a little bit. Hello, you. You got cold ears. Tina's got cold ears. Yes, you have. Cold ears. You're going to tunnel in. You're going back underground. You're going underground. I'll do a test. I put one cover over her. Put one cover over her. If she doesn't object and start shaking her head to get out, then it means that she wants to be under the covers. Give us a second, folks. Plug the wire back in. When I woke up at I woke up at 9:30, fell asleep straight, woke up again about an hour later, 10:30, and my phone was on, I think it was on 3%. And the phone is the internet at the minute. For a while the tablet had the SIM card, but no, now the phone is the internet. So if that had gone off, oh, I don't do films, says Keith. I learn by what people say. You better, oh yeah, reading and listening to people rather than watching TV or movies is a good. But are the solar panels still charging the EcoFlow? They are, except today when I was running low on power, I had to put the EcoFlow on the table and couldn't put the panel anywhere near. But yeah, we will be low on power, actually. I haven't checked that. 46% at the minute on the EcoFlow. No, the solar panel's working great. Solar panel's working great for me. Unlike my mate Joby, the English guy who used to live in the field here, he's going through a real run of bad luck at the minute. One of these really, really cold nights, he the next morning after one of these icy cold mornings, one of the ones where we were down to 3 degrees, his solar panel stopped working. I think he's on the foldable one still, and he can plug his like power banks and things. He plugged directly into the solar panel, and it blew it. It knackered the power bank. In the cold, I think what's happened, from what best I can gather from what he said, in the cold, the plastic on the wires, the positive and the, has cracked, and the positive and the negative, the actual copper, have made contact with each other. Both wires cracked open and made contact and shorted out whatever he plugged into it until he realised what was happening. Separate the wires, put some kind of tape, non-conductive tape over. What power bank would you recommend? For me, it's EcoFlow all the way. That's the brand I would go with for the big ones, not the little battery banks. Something like that. If it's something just for like charging a mobile, like an Anker is one of the best brands for computer stuff, computer electronics. Anker, I think it is. But for these bigger ones like EcoFlow, Jackery, Bluetti, Anker have moved into these larger ones as well. For the big ones, for me, it's EcoFlow. But all of those brands I just mentioned are all good. They all have good reputations. Jackery was the clear leader once upon a time and took their eye off the ball. Didn't develop fast enough. Didn't switch to lithium iron phosphate for the batteries. LiFePO4, LiFePO4. Li for lithium, Li. Fe for iron, and PO4 for phosphate. Lithium iron phosphate. Jackery were too slow to adapt, and others, in particular EcoFlow, came and ate their lunch, came and got ahead of them. Jackery are fighting back now, and have some new models, and things seem to be going okay for them. But for me, it's EcoFlow. Then the question is, well, which model? I didn't have much money, so I had to go with the base model, with the lower model of the EcoFlow River 2 at the time. I think the River 3 is now available, and the Delta. If I hadn't been limited by budget, I would have bought an EcoFlow Delta, and the current is the EcoFlow Delta 3. I think there's something like a Delta 3 Max or a Delta 3 Pro. Can't remember what wording they went with. But those for getting through power banks, for getting you and your house through a power cut. Karen, I don't remember where she was when she had the power cut, but she was powering the fridge, the freezer, and the washing machine all at the same time during a blackout. From her, she listened to me and she bought the Delta. Hold on. All right, Karen. When they're going through all the dog tags of the dead, they're in the camp. They're in the camp then. What are we doing? You insinuating that I'm eating the local dog population? Where are we going there? Eco Salesman of the Year 2025. I have steered a few people towards EcoFlow. I have steered a few people in that direction. Oh God, I don't remember the name of the guy. It'd be in my PayPal. Somebody sent me some money and said this is like a commission. EcoFlow aren't going to pay you a commission, but like I'd never heard of these products before, and you made me aware of them, and I bought an Eco. No, I didn't buy an EcoFlow, but he said I didn't know about this category of product, and here's a commission from me because they're not going to send you some. So that was greatly appreciated. EcoFlow, where are you? I keep making the offer. Living the life. This is not a weekend warrior, not a 24-hour overnight in the woods. Living the life with my EcoFlow River 2. Folks, I honestly cannot overstate what a change to life it was. I was messing about. I had two small panels that each generated up to 10 watts. I had a solar controller, charge controller, and a little battery, a little 12-volt battery, and it wasn't working. Through the day I had as much power as I needed, but it wasn't putting power into the battery like it was supposed to. And fair play to Mark and Jeff, the two blokes that gave me the system in the first place. When it started to not work, they swapped out. They bought a new charge controller, and when that didn't make a difference, they bought a new battery. I think it was just that the charge controller was cheap Chinesium. Okay, yeah. But fair play to them for sticking with me and for buying new components just for me. Appreciate it, guys. I know we. Oh, what can you say? They didn't like my politics when the police. You remember the police were harassing me every couple of weeks, and I was putting videos out slating the police. It didn't sit well with them, and so we parted ways. But I really do appreciate everything they did. Guys, if you do a search in YouTube, Torrevieja _channel was the name of their channel, Torrevieja channel. I don't know if they're still putting videos out or not. I'm not sure, but give them a look up. Nice guys, and appreciate everything that they did for me with water purification tablets and things when I was getting water from the foot pump from the foot wash at the beach. Yeah, no, they helped me out tremendously in a number of ways. Ground sheets and tarpaulins and things. Lots of help in lots of ways. Really do appreciate everything that they helped me with, even though they felt that their politics didn't sit with my politics, and we're no longer in touch. What? They are now going to Rommel, farmer. Rommel. Oh, you're on. You're saving Private Ryan, shaving Ryan's privates. Okay. What we got here? Things always are improving, but when I have something that works, I don't change it until it's absolutely toasted. Yeah, you find something that works and you keep working with it, don't you? Yeah. I uh, I don't upgrade unnecessarily. I like my laptop, which I no longer the one that I had before, from the before times, was 7 years old. Last I think it was 7 years old when I moved to Spain. I keep using stuff while it's working. I don't upgrade unnecessarily. Okay, we're getting running commentary on the saving saving Private Ryan. I have to think to put it back in the right order. Um, Static spud charges phones. If you stick copper and another metal into a potato, it will indeed. The acid in the potato, an orange would work as well. Zinc and copper, is it? Zinc and copper are your two metals for your anode and cathode. Will generate a charge. Um, Whether you can make it enough to charge a phone on USB, I'm not sure how easy that'd be. You might have to string a few potatoes together in series to build up enough charge. But yeah, it can be done. Karen is recommending the Delta 3 Plus, the EcoFlow Delta 3 Plus. Is that what they went with? Plus rather than Pro. They might have both. The way that people extend brand names nowadays. There's a marketing term for you, brand extension. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, it's okay. I got another one here. Okay, folks. I shall crack open one more beer. I'm not sure how long we're going to go on for. We just hit the hour mark, haven't we? I don't know how much we've got to talk about. And Karen's watching telly. I think Kina's gone to sleep next to me. Have you been? Are you asleep? I don't know why she wouldn't get into bed. So for anyone who wasn't here, Tina was on the floor at the bottom of the bed, and I kept having to hoik I kept. So there's 4 covers over me, 2 blankets and 2 quilts, and I would part them. I would roll it all over and invite her to get back, and she wouldn't get back in the bed. She just wouldn't get back in. Oh, you're awake. Cuddle Tina. Hello, baby. Hello. Hello. So, love, I like it when you look at me like that. That means you want a nice cuddle. That's my little hot water bottle. She snuggled right against me. She was just looking up at me. Hey, babe. Talking to Auntie Karen. Auntie Karen? Yeah. That always gets her attention. Just mention Karen. It's like if I say Ismo. Uncle Ismo? No, not now. He's not there just yet. But you love your Uncle Ismo, don't you? Yeah. Certain names, certain words just trigger her and suddenly she's up and about. I love it. She's so clever. She's got such a wide kind of vocabulary that she responds to. If I tell her to move and I point in a direction, she will move in that direction, left or right. If I say hop up, then if she's in the mood, she'll make the initial step up onto the bed. So then I can grab her collar. I don't like having to drag her around by the neck, but we're at that stage where there's no other, short of me getting out of bed, getting past her, and then literally picking her up. Just she makes a step up, I grab the collar. She's trying to pull up, so I'm giving her that little boost, that little extra kick to get her up and onto the bed. Like I said, it's not ideal dragging her around by the neck, but disabled dog, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? She likes her cuddles though, and she's tucking in She's rubbing against me now. She is. Careful, if you succeed and make money in that field, you'll get deported. Yeah, this is true. How far am I far behind? That's just 12:30. It is 12:35 now. Now it's okay. Saving Brian. Yeah, I do. Shaving Ryan's privates versus Saving Private Ryan, and I struggle to say those words in the right order. I thought it was a really clever. I thought it was a really clever title. Shaving Ryan's privates. Careful if you succeed. Hannah, Anchor Solix C300 DC power bank station. Would this be okay? Anything by Anchor are a really solid producer. So it's about the capacity that you want and that you need. How much power does it hold, and what are you wanting it for? So if your aim is to get through like a 12-hour power cut, you need one amount of power. If you want enough power to get through 3 days of a blackout, in the eventuality that happens, you need something bigger. You just got to weigh up what your options are. Weigh up what you need. What are you going to do with it? How much power do you need? Have you got a specific use case in mind? Is it to keep the fridge freezer going for 3 days when the power's out? Or is it to power, I don't know, is it to power a fan somewhere in a tent maybe? I don't know. My use case is different to most others. Mine is just to power tablets and phone and tablets, lights, batteries, and I had a fan running all summer. All day, every day, not all day as in 24 hours, all day through the peak hours, 8 hours in the peak of summer. So you look at what the number of watts that your devices are going to use, and whether they're on solidly at that level or if they're only on for like a third of the time. So the power draw, so the power stored divided by the power drawn per hour gives you the number of hours it will work for. And then you judge how are you powering it. Some people will power it from the mains while the mains is there, and then when the mains shuts off, you've got X number of hours power stored. Others will be powering it from solar. And your use cases will what are you going to use it for, and how much power you need at any one time will give you an indication of how long it will work for. It's not something someone else can really answer for you. But Anchor is a really solid brand. I'll look up the specific one you mentioned. Anchor Solix C300, was it? Hold on. Anchor, how are we spelling Solix? It's gone off the screen now. Solix C300. Let's have a look. So you're looking at what, 150 euros, between 150 and 200 depending where you buy it from. Anchor Solix C300 portable power station. I'll have a look on Amazon because you're more likely to get reliable information. Why we're not clicking through? That's just a picture. Where's the link? Come on, Amazon. Where's the fucking link? What's the point of it if you don't click through? Okay, there we go. 288 watt hours. That's roughly speaking on a par with my EcoFlow River 2. So that would power something like 288 watt hours. It's not going to last long with main household stuff. It depends what your use case is. Depends what you're going to do with it. Let's have a look. I'm just scrolling. I'm just seeing if Hannah's followed up with. Hello, Jake. Yeah, like Sharon says, get the best you can afford. Get the biggest. Once you've picked a brand and a kind of a line of models, Get the one with the you will always want more power than you think you want. So this is not going to power like an electric kettle, or I mean, technically it will. It'll just do it really slowly. It's not going to do. It's not going to do anything massive. If you were to plug a TV into this, I think modern TVs use about 70 or 80 watts. You get 2, maybe 3 hours out of it. If you're just wanting to power your mobile phone or your lamps or things in a power cut, it'll see you through two maybe 3 days of running your phone. You're at the bottom end of the market, like I was with my EcoFlow. Now my EcoFlow cost 250 at the time. These are available from like 150, 170 euros upwards. Yeah, like Karen said, get the biggest storage that you can afford. You're gonna have this thing for 5 or 10 years, and if you find after a few months that you've gone too low, you're gonna be stuck with it for 5 or 10 years, unless you go out and spend again on a bigger one. Get the biggest you can afford. Hope you and Tina are nice and warm tonight. My hand's fucking freezing because, you know, this is ice cold. Even though it's 10 degrees, it's my hands are like ice, which is why I keep putting them in here and cuddling I finally got her to get back in bed. When I started the stream, she was on the floor and she wouldn't get into bed. She didn't want to get here. She's here now though, and she's cuddling me nice. She is pressing against me deliberately. Yeah, babe. That's a cuddle Daddy approves of. Daddy approves of this cuddle. Yeah, we're nice. We're warm on the whole. It's just my hands. Neck's a little bit, but not so. It's maybe a circulation thing. I don't know. I ate a big lunch. Well, a dinner by the time it was ready. When I started cooking, it was lunchtime. By the time it was ready, it was dinner time. Or tea time, as I would say back where I'm from. But I ate a big meal, came inside, lay down, put a video on, didn't get halfway through it, and I fast asleep. The alarm went off at 9:30 to say, hey, you know, you've got a 10 o'clock. I created the stream and I set it for 10, but I didn't wake up. I did wake up enough to turn the alarm off. Rolled over and went back to sleep. Woke up an hour later, 10:30. Took Tina for her walkies and set the stream to start. And it was getting close to 11. I thought, do I just start at 11 like a dead start? I set it for 11:30. But my hands are cold. It is true. What's Keith saying? Hold on. Along railings outside of tent poles. Is that a continuation of extend poles outside the side? Along outside. Hold on. Well, that was Karen talking to Hannah. Get the best you can afford. You will always need more power than you think. I ran a washing machine, fridge freezer, TV and a PlayStation during a power cut. You did indeed. My tent pot, I almost snapped one the other day. So my door, the main door, not the one, Tina doesn't go out of that one anymore because you've got to get past everything else. So we go out here. But when I go out of the other door, so the door nearest to me on the right has 2 layers. There's the mosquito net kind of door and then the outer door. This one's just a single layer. It's just the outer door. And it's 2 zips at the bottom, and then you part them and go up. And of course, I'll try and get away with just opening 1 zip. Or I'll open 1 zip and I'll move the bottom one over a little bit. But I underdid it the other day. I didn't open the bottom enough. I did one side and I just moved the other a little bit. Tripped up on my way out the fucking door, and like when you fall, you grab for things. I grabbed the fucking tent pole, and Don't do that. It cracked and it creaked, but it didn't break. But man, I think that's the second time I've literally grabbed onto a tent pole to try and stop myself from falling. It's a stupid idea. It doesn't work, and it damages the tent. If you imagine falling into a tent wall, imagine falling over, tripping over, and falling, and you go into the fabric of the tent. You're going to be causing damage somewhere or other, and it has happened. It has happened. I don't know which. I'm scrolling backwards at the minute, folks. I'm scrolling backwards. Okay, I was only one behind when I thought I was further back before, and that was when Jake arrived. Hold on. We know it's men who can't. I missed that one. What's that in relation to Keith? Oh, I can multitask, said Karen, and Keith said we know it's men who can't. We can. It's that code switching, or what you want to call it. There's when you break away from one task to do another, there's a moment of reset where you kind of lose track of where you're at. Women are better at picking up, switching from one to the other. Men just take that a little bit longer, but you can multitask. I used to, when I was a kid, I would be watching TV, reading a book, and doing my homework all at the same time. And my mum, turn that telly off, get your homework done. No, it's fine, it's not disturbing, it's not a problem. I was able to keep track of where I was. To this day, I can watch a TV program and listen to something separate, some separate audio. I can, or two programs. I can watch a film on the tablet while listening to an audio book on the phone. It's not a problem. I can hear both. I can do both. It's not. Occasionally something else will distract me, and then I'll realise that I've lost track of one or the other. But that's because a third thing. It's because the third thing was happening at the same time, and I've put too much attention on that new thing, and I don't know where we are with the story or with the film or with whatever. But I can do two. Regularly at Christmas, I was watching a Christmas movie and listening to not Christmas carols, but Christmas songs. Christmas hits. I do two at once, no problem. Farmers had problems with Anker batteries and had okay. I've always heard that. See, I used to. One of my biggest gripes is leads, power leads, and USB leads and cables, whatever you want to call them. USB cables are generally shit. If I get a month out of a cable, it's not entirely a miracle, but the cheap Chinesium ones, if they last more than a month, they'll last a couple of years. But the number of them that don't last a month is the problem. Anker, if I bought anything from Amazon that was Anker, cables, connectors, I think the power bank thing is a step up for Anker. They went from simple, like cables and cable ties and that kind of little accessory thing, and they've grown up as a company into more of the peripherals, the devices that you connect, and other electronics. So I don't know. I've never really heard a bad word against them until Farmer just opened his mouth. I've always regarded them as a solid brand. Their cables last forever. You buy a USB cable from Anker and it's going to be good for 5 years. Like I said, whereas Chinesium, not so much. It might, if you get through the first month, you've got a good chance of making it to 2 or 3 years. But I'm scrolling forward again now. I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm back where Hannah asked about the Solix 300. So the question is, winner chicken dinner. Yeah, okay. The question is as always, what do you want to use it for? and and like Karen says, get the biggest and best that you can afford. If you're torn between spending 200 and 300 and you've got 300, then get the three, just go bigger and better. Yeah, like Karen says, it's a hard question to answer if you don't know what you want to use it for. No one else can answer it for you. It's it's a use case. You've got to marry the device you buy with the use case that you have. What are you using it for? Jake says, bless you both. It's freezing here in Nottingham, mate, but stopped snowing. I was asking earlier about the weather. Everyone said the storm had passed and what have you, but stopped snowing. You still got snow on the ground though, Jake, yeah? Karen's cold, but central heating's broken, yeah. But you've got an Aga or something, haven't you? Oh no, that is your central heating. It's the back boiler. Yeah, your boiling water behind your cooker. Your cooker's still working though, Karen. Yeah. Last time I put heating on was 20 years ago. It's still new. It's a sign of nature. If only it worked that way, my friend. Things can sit idle and still get old. I'm a prime example. Sitting idle but still getting old. You don't stop aging just because you're idle. Costa Leicestershire. Karen's hoping that the plumber comes tomorrow. Is it a plumber? I assume it's a plumber. Shower gives the hot water. If you've got an immersion heater or an electric shower, it will. If your boiler's off, maybe not. Electric blanket. Yeah, I've got one of those. It's bundled up here. I haven't used it this winter. I did put it on the bed in readiness. I took all the covers off. I didn't take them off. I folded in half that way. Put the blanket down, folded in half that way, and then reversed. I did an Uno reverso, and I moved all of the quilts and the blankets this side, reached under and unfurled the blanket out. Put that on. We were laying on it for 2 weeks, and somehow our movements pushed it all down the bed, and then Doggo pushed it all off to the right, and the thing ended up curled up in a ball off down there with her laying on top of it, unused, not powered, but she was just laying on top of it. So I moved it out of her way and I put it up here. If we have a really cold night, if we get down around 2 or 3 degrees again, I'll probably use it next time. The 2 nights we just had at 3 degrees were cloudy and rainy all day. So it was in the middle of like 4 days of no sun, no solar. So I didn't have the power to power the electric blanket. But electric blankets are the most efficient way to heat the person. If you can, you're better off heating your house, because if your house gets cold, you get damp and things, and the bricks get cold, and then you'll never get the house warm again. Keep proper heating going when you can. But if you have to, and you just want to warm yourself, an electric blanket is a lifesaver. Either in bed at night, folks, or on the sofa in the living room. Get the draft excluder under the door. Take a pair of tights or big socks and fill it with other rags and old clothes and things. Get the draft excluder going, and get an electric blanket and sit on or under. Put the electric blanket below you is the best. They say not to sit or lay on an electric blanket. It's supposed to be above you. What's the point of that? The heat's going to rise. Put the electric blanket under you. You sit on it and get a throw or a quilt or a blanket or something, and sit there and trap the heat in between the electric blanket, yourself, and the top layer, whatever you went with, the throw or the blanket. Do that. Sit snug as a bug, even though you're in a cold room in a cold house. You can keep yourself warm. That's the important part. That's what you want. That's what you need. Karen has a heated throw but can't find it. You didn't give it to that tramp in the field that time, no? Here we go. Maybe I gave it away. Okay, you made the same joke. Mike, yeah, I'll lend you mine. Next time you're over, take mine back with you, as long as you promise to give it back later. Still got Jake. Jake's still got ice and snow in places, but it's slowly melting away. Temperature's going to rise a little in the week ahead. I love it when there's snow on the ground. It stays so bright. Any light you've got, moonlight, street light, is reflecting and bouncing around. Everything's so much brighter. It's almost like it's still daylight at midnight. So it's a shame when it goes, but on the flip side, old people falling over, breaking hips, and if you break a hip, yeah, if you're over 60 and you break a hip, there's a big chance you're going to be dead within the next 6 months. I don't want to be like too pessimistic on anybody. If your gran's just fallen over and broken her hip, don't blame me. I'm just telling you the statistics. I'm not making it happen. But old people breaking hips die. Often not directly. Don't get me wrong. Don't be silly. You don't just like break your hip or your pelvis and then die. But they lose confidence. The fall knocks them. They become introverted. They stop going out. They maybe stop looking after themselves properly. They don't feed themselves properly, adding to the dangers that the other cold and things then bring on. And it's a shame. It can be avoided, but just to let you know, if you've got old folk around you and they do fall and break a hip, watch them, look after them, mother them a little bit, because you got to get them through that first 6 months, otherwise they might not be there anymore. Store cupboard in a field. I feel like that sometimes. I have like this Christmas. I'm stepping over bags of food. I got things. I got so much. I got nowhere to put it, and the floor filled up, and it was like. Was it Frogger? Was that the lily pads in the pond, or was Frogger the one with the traffic? I don't mean that. There was a game where you had to kind of do stepping stones, like from lily pad to lily pad to get over. I feel like that, having to pick out a spot and find somewhere that I can actually put my feet down. Clearing a little bit now, but at the same time as it's clearing now, I'm trying to have a use up and get through some of my own food that's the fresh stuff that's starting to turn. That's what the meal was about earlier. Trying to get through the leeks and celery. I hardly dented the celery. I took 2 sticks of celery and I've still got about 12. I mean, it's a hell of a head of celery. Hell of a. Trying to use stuff up because it's not going to last forever. And I think I've still got stuff in the fridge going bad. I got to get through that and then go do some shopping. I went shopping on Christmas Eve. That's the last time I went shopping. And that was only the second time last year. I went shopping twice last year, folks. Twice in a whole year. How did I survive that year? Tina was immobile. We didn't have the chariot. And even when we did, it's a considerable hill to get up for her. She needs help, either being pulled or pushed up that hill. How did I manage? I managed literally. If I'd not gone shopping a week before Christmas and then on Christmas Eve, it would have been a year without shopping. The day before Christmas Eve 2024 would have been the last time I went shopping prior to going those 2 times just in the run up to Christmas. I went shopping twice in a calendar year, and both was just for Christmas stuff. Try and get my parsnips and turkey and Brussels sprouts, folks. The Spanish don't know what a fucking Brussels sprout is. They've got no clue. I had to go to 2 supermarkets in the week in the run up to Christmas. I had to go to 2 different supermarkets to find sprouts. One of these so-called supermarkets doesn't even have a fucking sliced loaf. That's the craziest thing. When it's the week before Christmas, you can't get a sliced loaf, you can't get parsnips, and you can't get sprouts. And so you look for Baileys. I didn't have any Baileys this Christmas. Neither supermarket, Aldi and Mercadona, neither had, I don't just mean Baileys the brand, I mean a whiskey and cream liqueur. Neither of them had one. Couldn't get Baileys or Baileys equivalent in either of two supermarkets in the week leading up to Christmas. Something's wrong with the fucking world. Am I in the wrong universe? I've done the sliders thing again. Isn't Baileys a thing? That's a Christmas thing, yeah? It's not only a Christmas thing, but it's definitely a Christmas thing, surely. I just got to scratch my ankle, folks. Hold on, I got an itch. My sock keeps falling off. Oh, the joy of scratching an actual itch. Oh. I feel like I'm an OnlyFans model. Model, is that the right word? Whore? I don't know. Filming myself, satisfying myself. No, not like that, farmer. The ARG isn't working, that controls the heating of hot water, but I have a separate immersion heater. Yeah, I think you mentioned that, yeah. It's good to have a backup, redundancy. Have second systems that can kick in when the primary doesn't work. Get everything before the 1st of February, prices go up thereafter. You could say that about every month, couldn't you? Get it before the 1st of January, prices will go up. Everything goes up. Prices almost only go up, although I have received some surprises during this last year. I think I've mentioned when I was first made homeless, I moved in with Ismo. Ismo was over in Spain, and I shared an apartment with him for a month. And the first thing we did was go shopping the next morning. We moved in on the Sunday, and Monday morning we went shopping. And I bought dog food, a sack, a big bag, 22. It was 22 kilograms at the time, and it was €9.80, so under a tenner. 18 months later, the same brand of dog food and the large sack had come down from 22 kilograms to 18. And instead of being €9.80, it was €16 something or other. It had gone up like 60%. And the size of the bag had come down 20%. The worst bit of shrinkflation I've ever seen. Increase in price 60% over 18 months, and the bag comes down in size 20%. But then last year, I think it was Karen. Well, it was Karen's husband who went and got me the same sack of dog food. And it had come down to, it was like 13. It had come down in price, and it had gone up in size a little bit as well. So you got I can't remember the specifics. I don't remember the specifics, but I was amazed that it had come down in price, and the sack itself had got bigger again. Something like back to I don't know, 20 kilos maybe. So it wasn't back to how it had been originally. But yeah, there was more in the bag, and it had come down in price. So who knows? The vagaries of pricing. You never know. When something happens in the world and the supermarkets all say, oh, supply chain, oh, difficulties, we can't get the stuff. They make more money in those years. When we're struggling and prices shoot up, and then 12, 15 months later, when you hear the profit returns, when you hear how they did that year, they've suddenly had a bumper year. So in the year that everybody's getting shafted, The supermarkets make record profits. That's a coincidence, isn't it? Supply chain, supply chain. Oh, it's out of our control. It's nothing to do with us. Really? Then why the fucking bumper profits, you cunts? Tell me it's a coincidence. We're all being squeezed to shit. Oh, so are we, so are we, so the supermarkets. Until the profit call comes, until the annual report comes out and the chairman's all happy and jolly that they've made extra billions this year. Fuckers. Use towels. What was that in relation to? Have cushions on the floor stopping the draft. Okay, yeah. Cushions, towels. It was always in the 70s, you remember the power cuts, the blackouts in the 70s. It was always a pair of ladies' tights cut into two sausages and filled with socks and whatever old clothes or rags you had. And that was your draft excluder at the bottom of the living room door, tied in a knot at one end, filled with rags. It's totally embarrassing when someone comes, you get visitors, family come round to visit, and you've got these draft excluders. Yeah, I was just thinking of something else related, but I'm not going to recount that particular story. You'll have to do without. Cheapest is 2 days hugging. That's how you stay warm. Lots of coffee if you can. Get hot drinks. Fill the thermos so that you don't have to keep reheating the same water in the kettle. My friend's just broken hers, just over 60. We'll let her know, lol. Yeah, don't want to worry you, but you might be dead in 6 months. Don't do that. Don't say it like that. I almost doxed myself there. I doxed myself earlier, didn't I? Was it in the earlier stream or was it in this one? I gave my real name when I was talking to the dog. But yeah, no, it's true. Breaking your hip when you're over 60, 6 months. Mike's hip, not my hip. No. I spent a lot of time in Mercadona. Oh, you don't like the smell of people. What are you doing in Mercadona? Hold on. You live in the country. To get those things at Christmas, if you was over in the UK, they were giving it away. I hear about Christmas. This wasn't a tradition when I was there, but this whole buying like a kilogram of veg for 12 pence or whatever. Here, the potatoes go up. So a few years ago, I don't know how many, not that long ago, potatoes were like 50 or 60 cents a kilogram all year long. And then you get to Christmas and suddenly they're €1 or €1.50. And somewhere along the line, that's become the standard price for the potatoes now. Your 3 kilogram bag costs €5. It's fucking annoying. I don't know how. I don't think I bought a 5 kilogram bag in a while. But yeah, no, veg is surprisingly expensive in Spain, considering that most of it's like fucking grown here. But you're competing against the export market. But Christmas veg, yeah, they I read. Well, I watch a lot of these Americans move to Europe and Britain in particular, and report back on what life's like. And it's nice watching things from someone else's perspective. Did I get you this time, you fuck? I think I did. I thought I did. I don't see a smear. Yeah, nice seeing something from someone else's perspective, someone with a fresh set of eyes on a situation. Who's going to win the race to bed tonight? Probably not me. I had such a deep sleep. When the alarm went off at 9:30 so that I could be here nice and bright and bushy-tailed for 10 o'clock, that happened. That didn't happen. I'd been asleep. I'm not sure. I don't know what time I came in after eating the food. It was dark, so it must have been after 6. So let's say 7 o'clock. I settled down here and went to sleep. 9:30, the alarm went off, and I thought it was tomorrow morning already. I didn't know why there was an alarm going off. I couldn't work it out. But it's because, what, about 3 weeks ago I fell asleep midstream? No, both. I fell asleep during the stream, but I've also had ones where I wasn't there, where I didn't wake up in time for the stream. So I set an alarm, didn't I? And it goes off every Friday and Sunday at 9:30 now. When it went off today, I had no clue why it was going off. Oh, well, this is because we're talking about sleeping. I'm not tired really, I'm wide awake. That's like when you talk about, I don't need to cough. I haven't got a cough. And pretty soon you're... Hey Tina, you're moving around quite a bit, darling. Are we okay? You need help getting out? Have you got lost under there? Hello. Hello. Hello, babe. You're sniffing around. Oh, you are very toasty warm. Are you too warm? Are you too warm? Are you too hot? Hello. It's my girl. You're licking your lips. Hello. I love you. Daddy loves his girl. Daddy loves his girl. Okay, folks, sorry, what was I saying? Too busy cuddling my doggie. Hey, babe. Oh, you're settling down. She just lay down and put her head flat on the bottom. I drank a pint of Baileys once, was sick as a dog afterwards. I've told the tale of my mum. God, in the Morecambe Hotel. She drank so many Baileys, they had to go to another pub to get another bottle. It's all she was on all that night. God, do I say the next bit? I've told it before, so I might as well. But so I took my mum out. I treated my mum to a night out. It would have been approaching Christmas, but not actually Christmas. So it was maybe early December. And we spent the evening. We spent the night in the Morecambe Hotel. And when we got back to the house and we opened the front door and got in, so there's a patio, a tiled patio area, and then you step up into the house. We got inside and she just, and she flooded. We're both drunk, but and this is, I don't know, maybe 20. No, it can't be 20 years ago. She's been dead 25, hasn't she? God, how long? It wasn't too many years before she died. I'm trying to think. So this is after I've split up from Jan. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's way. When was this? Was it before? Fuck, I've got no idea. Fuck, I've got distinct memories of this night, and I don't know when it was. Oh, she was gone before I split up from Jan. This must have been before I married Jan. Must it? Fuck. I'm talking about it like it's yesterday, and then I'm thinking, oh no, shit, that's 24. No, it's even more. It's 10 or 16 years before that. Fuck, I've no idea. I don't know when this was. But anyway, get back to the story. She steps up onto the patio, on the step into the vestibule, into the patio, and I'm holding her up, making sure she doesn't fall over while all this is happening. And we're standing in the patio, and it basically floods. And when she's finished, we step up into the house, wooden floor, wet footprints from standing in vomit, and we're both too drunk to clean it up. So we go off to our various bedrooms and clean it up the next morning. Open the bedroom door next morning. That smell, and it's been sat there putrefying all night. It's not the proudest story of my mum. It's not my best story of my mum's existence. But it's one of my strongest memories, even though I don't remember when. Fuck. That's got to be the early 90s. Oh, do you ever do this? You recount a story and you're thinking of it as being like 5 or 10 years ago. It's relatively recent. And then you look and you think, fuck, it's 35 years ago or whatever. It's 30 plus, 30, 32, 33 years ago. And I'm talking about, I started that tale off like it was, oh, no, it's not the last 10 years because I've been in Spain. Oh, but it's not, oh, but I was married for 60. It's not that, it's before that. Fuck. Fuck. It started as a recent tale. It was a recent memory. And then you remember, oh, she's been dead 25 years. I've been in Spain 10. I was married for 60. And you start adding it all together, and suddenly it was 1895. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know, folks. Shit. Yeah, Bailey's. She drank so many individual glasses, and I'm sure the bottle was fairly new when they started, but they had to go out. They had to literally go to another bar to get another bottle of Bailey's. Let's have a look. Karen says, Jake, my brother-in-law drank a litre bottle of Bailey's at Christmas and he was fine. That's a proper drinker. It depends how quickly you drink it and whether you've drunk anything else first. Have you ever stood at the bar and you get into like a racing game with somebody and then suddenly he drinks a pint in kind of 6 or 7 seconds? So now you've got to drink yours in 3. And then he shakes your hand and he says, well done, you won. Let's go again. And so you both neck a second pint. That's when you get into danger. That's the danger. Jake says, haha, must be just me. I've gone off it now, lol. Don't admit to being a pussy just because you threw up after drinking a bottle or something. There's no glory in being a good drinker. How many times have you been made homeless, Mike? Once, precisely once in my entire life, and this is it. Well, okay, definitions. So I was made homeless. I was thrown out of my apartment, and I was carrying as much as I could, and I was on my way to one friend. I got tired and stuck and felt weak and wibbly on the way, because I'd been in the apartment. They'd turned the electric off 2 or 3 weeks earlier, so there'd been no cooking, there'd been no... So I'd not been eating properly. I didn't have much in. My money was running out. This was if you remember, my bank not letting me have money. I'd had money that I'd taken out of the machine when I could earlier, and it was running low. So I'm on my way to a friend's. I'm getting all dizzy and about to faint. I stop off at a different friend on the way there, and she let me stay for a night or 2. Then I went to Ismo's. Well, I went to the apartment that me and Ismo were going to rent together. I owe him still for that. He paid, and I said, hey, we thought it would be days and I'd be able to sort my money out. You pay, I'll give you my half when I get my money sorted. Yeah, in we go, we do a month there. Then at the end of the month, Ismo has to go back to Finland, and I call my friend back and say, hey, I'm stuck. Could I possibly... So I'd spent 3 or 4 days there, and then I'm like, I'm stuck. I'm literally going to be homeless. She came and picked me up, and I stayed for about 3 months at hers, and then the friendship kind of broke down. Having me underfoot, I'm it's someone in your house that you're not ready for, that you're not expecting, that you're not... How would you say this? By some people's standards, we were acquaintances initially rather than friends. It's a lady who I sat with. I'd always say hello and sit with her and have a beer when I was in the park, at the kiosk in the park. Once or twice, she'd had a little bit much, and I'd walk her home and make sure she got home okay. So I've moved in. She's helping me out, and after 3 months, she's sick of me. and she tells, you've got 2 weeks, get this sorted, or I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So have I been made homeless once or twice? Thrown out the apartment, stayed with friends. I stayed with Lorraine, then Ismo, then Lorraine, then made homeless again, I guess. Although technically I was homeless, I was couch surfing is the modern phrase. Staying at a friend's and staying on the couch. So is it once or is it twice? It's the same. To me, it's the same incident. It's the same, but only once. I'm not. I had a normal life, folks. Had a job, had a business, ran a business for 15 or 16 years, was married for 16 years, was together for 20 years nearly, I guess. Almost, not quite. I'm a normal person, I had a normal life. I've not always been homeless. First time. I don't know how to be homeless, I would still say to this day. If I was made to move from here now, I'd be clueless. I've survived this long because I was told on the first day, or the first day that the police saw me and told me to move on, I said no. And that's it. That sticking to my guns and just saying no. And it turns out it's private property and the police have got no say. And you've heard that all a million times, but no, homeless once. Now, my mate Joby, he can take off on his bike, be on the outskirts of a new city or a new town he's never been to before, and he can pitch tent, put up and have a couple of days there, and then move on again a couple of days later. I wouldn't know how to pick the spot. I got no clue. I'm a terrible homeless. I'm a no good homeless guy. I'm a useless tramp. I don't know how to be. Oh, there's a fly here. I'm no good at being homeless. I don't know how to be homeless. I've been lucky in the skills that I've picked up. I've been lucky in the friends I've made and the help I've received. The two ladies that bought me the first phone. I mean, that's absolutely remarkable. They're from the same town back in Sweden, and they were going home like February or March, and that was going to be them until October. No, it was April. It was April, and they were going home. And that was them. Summer's too hot for them. They go home. They have they spend summer back in Sweden, and winter here, roughly, apart from Christmas when they go home again. But the two friends, and they went back to their various apartments, and they must have been talking. And one said this is what I gather from them. One said, I want to buy him a phone so we can stay in touch during summer. And the other said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go in on that with you. And when they told me they were going to get me a phone, I thought, okay, they're going to pick up like a 30 or 40 euro second hand. So Carrefour sell phones for, well, they did. They were about 70, 75 euros for the most basic of smartphones. So I thought they were going to get a second hand. Imagine a 70 euro phone second hand. So 30 or 40 euros worth, I thought. No. I said, would you not be better off going to Carrefour? Can you walk to Carrefour? I can't walk to. Well, no, we're not walking to Carrefour. They just went down to the local kind of phone shop and went in. I held Tina outside. One lady went in and was asking what's the score, and she comes out and she says, "Do you want the 16 gigabyte one or the 32 gigabyte one?" And I'm like, "I'll take whatever I'm given. Obviously, bigger is better, but right, we're getting the bigger one." Oh, you'll be needing a SIM card. Okay. No, you haven't got proof of address. You can't get this. I'll get the SIM card. And yeah, no, I think it's like 150 euro phone and a 10 euro SIM card, and they put a month or two on, and before they left the country, like a week later or whatever, they gave me a wad of cash and said, "That's to keep your phone charged over the next few months." Anita, Tina, thank you so much. Where would I be, folks? I met Before I put my first video out, I met a bloke called Damien. Well, I met two blokes, Damien and Simon, who were walking past. Tina was barking at them. I told her to shut up, and they said, "Oh, English." I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay. One was English, one was Irish, and they give me a lot of help. And it's meeting people like that, getting help like that. I deliberately, I think I've told the tale. I placed this tent. Well, it wasn't a tent. I lay here in the field rather than being tucked away under a tree where I would be invisible. There are parts of this field you would never know. There are trees that bend over and the branches come down to the ground. If I was under there, you'd never know I was there. Of course, in a strong wind, I'd be worried that I was going to get a big branch on my head. But and the trees have broken. One of them's broken in 3 different ways. But I positioned myself here to be visible. I built a bed. I built a platform off the ground because the field flooded. I built a bed first, and then I built a shelter around the bed when we had bad weather. And as soon as I put that tarp up, I was visible to the world. And I deliberately positioned myself here to be visible to the world, to say to people, "I'm here, folks. I need fucking help." I could have done all this under a tree, invisible. But I wouldn't have been asking for help. I would have been invisible to the world, literally. I wouldn't have got any help from anybody. And I'm putting myself out there, the YouTube channel, and the help that brings in, your help. Always greatly appreciated, folks. But yeah, I'd be rubbish at being homeless. If I had to move from here, I'd probably be dead within a week. Certainly within a month. Even in Spain, I just got no clue. That one time a guy took me begging. Hated it. I couldn't do it. I did it, but didn't enjoy doing it. And then he got all arsey and wanted my money. Still don't understand what was going on in that incident, but that's dealing with homeless people. Fuck. Some of the story. Joby was in an encampment, a camp that him and someone else kind of took over and formed. But the stories, the incidents, the theft from each other, the fights. One of the gang committed suicide this Christmas. I can't even keep track of who's who. I'm not good with names and stuff, especially people I've never even met. But homeless people, drugs, alkies. Don't get me wrong, I like a drop, but the alcoholics, the drugs, the dependency issues, the psychological and psychiatric issues, the fights, the theft, the criminality. Some of them are just plain fucking crims. There's no getting away from the fact. So the more you move around, the more you come in. I've told the tales of the 4 or 5 different gay blokes that have basically poked their head in the tent wanting sex with me. Hasn't happened. It must be over a year now since that's happened. I'm not inviting it. I'm not reminiscing and thinking, "Whoa, let's look back on those good times when a gay bloke stuck his head in the tent and said, sexo." The one that I gave a love tap to the back of the head and kicked when he was got his ass out. He wanted me to bum him there and then. Gave him a smack on the back of the head and kicked him out the fucking field. I'm not looking back longingly. I'm just all these things when you're homeless, these strange tales, these strange happenings and occurrences. I'd rather live them vicariously. I'd rather hear about Joby's troubles than actually have the troubles myself. I had the 2-hour stand-up knockdown fist fight, didn't I, at 4 o'clock, 4 while 6 one morning. That's about 3 months ago now. I'm not good at being homeless. I'm good at fighting, not at being homeless. 78% of utilities is tax, says Keith. Probably. It's like when you buy a pint of beer, isn't it? There's like 30 pence worth of beer, but you're paying fucking £3.50 or whatever it is now. The The rest is all just, you've got VAT, but you've also got duties. The difference between a duty. I worked for Customs and Excise, didn't I? Back when it was called Customs and Excise. And I don't know the difference between a duty and a tax. I think I've asked Google before now, because you know, now it's got AI and it doesn't just need to point you at a web page, it'll just give you the answer. It's robbed the answer from some bugger's website, and then it feeds it to you like it knew. Difference between duty, not responsibility, duty and tax. Let's have a look. The main difference is that tax is a broad term for a financial charge levied by a government on various things, like income, sales, and property, while duty is a specific type of tax. Well, VAT is a specific type of tax, applied only to certain goods and transactions, most commonly on imported or manufactured items. Okay, let me try and summarize. Here we go, folks. So value-added tax is a tax on anything being sold, broadly, with a few exemptions and exceptions. So that's a tax. A duty is where the government say, alcohol, actually they don't even say alcohol, they don't leave it that broad. Beer, this tax. Wines and spirits, that duty. So where they're naming items or categories and saying this much duty on that and that much duty on that. So like I said, beers versus wines and spirits, the government is specifically saying. VAT, they don't specifically say. It's all sales. That's a tax. If they're naming specific items, that's a duty. Still didn't get you. Now you know the difference. The difference is broad brush, that's a tax. Specifics, that's a duty. There you go, you've learned something today. I've learned something today. I like to learn. I worked for Customs and Excise for over a year, and now I know. Before I didn't. Here's one. A person who collects tax is called a comptroller or controller, but it has a P in the middle for some reason. And I've got no idea why. If you control something, there's no P in that. But if you collect tax, if you're the head tax collector for a region or you're a comptroller. No idea. Not a word I'd ever heard before. Let's ask Google, shall we? Here we go. Maybe I can learn two things today. I'm going to put tax and then CO, I think it's an M. M for mother, M for Mike. Comptroller. Here we go. Oh, there's no explanation. But the word is like Maryland, or Maryland as they would probably say it. What is tax comptroller, Texas comptroller tax? Oh, tax controller. I'm going to put meaning. I want to get a definition or a meaning. That's not how you spell meaning, but it's close enough. Okay, it's kind of redirected just to tax collector, someone who collects taxes. I knew. Oh, it changed the search term. Not meaning in Bible. I'm not. Let's put it back to comptroller. I can't. COMPTR. Comptroller meaning. The tax comptroller. I'm going to pronounce it as it's written, even though you would say controller or something. You don't pronounce the M and the P in that way. High-level official, often in government or non-profits, responsible for overseeing all financial operations, ensuring fiscal accountability. Yeah, okay. But why the word? What's the word I'm looking for? What is Susie Dent? She is a... Oh, it's like insect. What's the word for a group of insects? Oh, it's not going to come to me, is it? It's not going to come to me. I'll just put derivation. I can spell derivation. or at least I can remember the word. Derivation. A historical variant and partial misspelling of the word controller. Became established in English. Both terms derive from Middle French contrôleur, meaning an official who kept a counter roll, a duplicate record to verify accounts. Contrôleur. There you go. I'll never remember that word. The official's duty was to check the primary financial scrolls. Compt variation. Around the 15th century, the spelling of contrôleur in Middle English was influenced by Middle French word compte, an account, compte, from the Latin computer. Sounds familiar? Plug it in. I'm good with computers. Oh God. One of my nephews did me was it like a Christmas card or something? I love my uncle, real first name, especially his compter. They used to come to me and play computer games on the PC in about the year 2000. We're back live. They used to come to me and play on my computer around the year 2000 when the eldest of the nephews was 10, and then him and his younger brother. This might even have been before the third one was born. Maybe not, but they used to come and stay with me and Jan, me and my wife, and I got this lovely blue piece of paper folded in half, obviously done at school. I love my uncle, well, especially his compter. It always tickled me. I rib him about that, or I used to when we were speaking. I used to rib him about that forever. Imagine you're talking with a 20 or a 25-year-old, but you're pulling them up about something they did when they were 6. That's what uncles are for. That's our job. So comptroller is from the word compte in French, from computer in Latin, and somehow got mixed up with keeper of the accounts, keeper of the scrolls in accounting in the 15th or 16th century. Now you know a compter, comptroller. Is it me, or do American soldiers look better than British soldiers? Americans are generally taller than we are, about 6 or 9 inches difference. Americans, this ties in with cancer. Actually, you like this? We'll go off on a little bit of a detour here. Americans eat a lot more protein than we do. They eat a lot of beef. Sheep don't exist in America almost. Lamb isn't a thing. In the cowboy times, lambs were hated by the ranchers. If you tried to start rearing sheep, they didn't like it. I think they eat the grass too close to the ground or something. They graze in a different way. And so sheep herding never really took off, didn't happen. Consequently, Americans eat beef, and beef. And a little bit of pork because they like their bacon. But you can even get beef bacon. But anyway, go. Beef, and beef. That's American. So consequently, a lot higher protein intake. This is traditionally. This is before they start eating every meal in America is a dessert almost nowadays. But they eat a lot more protein, so they grow more. They get bigger. Now, here's where the cancer comes in. Cancer is like the cowboy builder that doesn't buy its own bricks. It steals from its neighbors. Cancer is very protein dependent for building. You want to build. So in order to grow, for the cells to multiply, you're built out of protein, mainly. The cells feed on sugars, carbohydrates, but the cells themselves are built from protein. And having all that excess protein means a bigger prevalency of cancer. This is why the Japanese traditionally, until like 50 years ago, the Japanese didn't get cancer. There was very low incidences of cancer. Spain would be similar. Spain's diet, again, until 50 or 60 years ago, Spain's diet was fish, olives, and pork. They're big on their pork, their jamon and what have you. But it's not as protein rich as beef. Fish, Italy is another one. It was fish. Their pasta dishes were, most people live in the coastal kind of regions, and the diet was, fish has about a third of the protein of a good beef. So less protein, less cancer. This is part of the Mediterranean diet myth. They just didn't eat beef. Japan didn't eat beef. Oh, it wasn't a large proportion of their diet. They're short. The Japanese are short. To this day, you will see Spanish couples. You see two 70-year-old Spaniards walking next to each other. They're down here. They're 18 inches shorter than me. And I'm short. I'm only like, what am I, 5'8", 5'9"? I can't do the conversion. Let me try and do a conversion. Someone tell me how close I get. So 5 feet is obviously 150 centimeters. The 9 is probably 20, just over 20 centimeters. 170, I'm going to go 170, 172 centimeters, something like that. I would guess my height was, for those of you that are metric. But if you look at the old Spanish, the old Japanese and the old Italian, they're short, but they get less cancer. Less protein equals less height, less growth, but also equals less cancer. More protein, the American soldiers, which was where we started the conversation. I did manage to find my way back. The Americans are big, they're bulky, they're broad, they're muscular. But American cancer rates are through the fucking roof. High protein diet, high cancer rates 30, 40 years later. Take your choice. Do you want to be short ass with no cancer? Or do you want to be 6'6", get all the girls but get cancer? I believe the Dutch are the tallest in Europe, aren't they? Why didn't you use your real name? It's just a privacy thing, Hannah. I got family back home. If you know what I mean, if I was getting mentioned online with my real name, if I was searchable. No. Partly, so here's what happened. So I said before, excuse me, folks. I said before about the two ladies that bought me a phone. So when I got the new phone, you have to set up your Google account. You have to set up Android, and the very first thing you have to do is log in with Google. And I tried to use my old account, which was my old email address was firstname@firstnamelastname.co.uk. Had my own domain name, had my own website, had my own company. You all know that whole story. So it's firstname@firstnamelastname.co.uk. And I couldn't. My original email address had actually expired. So when they're trying to send emails for you to confirm it's you, I'm not getting them because the domain name's expired. The emails are going nowhere. Everything's bouncing. So I had to set up a new account, and I couldn't use my real name because that was the old email address. So I had to come up with something like on the spot. You got 5 seconds. Create a new email account, and I used my initials DM, and hence I tried DM, and it didn't work. Wouldn't let me. Someone else had already got it, so I had to go with I spelt it out the NATO phonetic alphabet: Delta, and Mike. DM becomes D becomes Delta, M becomes Mike. You know that whole Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Golf Hotel India Juliet Kilo Lima Mike November Oscar Papa Quebec Romeo Sierra Tango Uniform Victor Whiskey X-Ray Zulu. That, the NATO phonetic alphabet. I had to use, I just, my name didn't work. My initials on their own didn't work. You're on the spot. You got to create your Google account. I went with Delta Mike. Even Delta Mike was gone, so I stuck a Torrevieja on the end. And so that's where the whole Delta Mike Torrevieja and then down and out seemed appropriate when I was creating the channel. Those get mixed in. But I the reason I don't bandy my real name around, some of the details I give about running a web company, some of the people that I worked with, some of the organizations I worked with, you'd be able to trace me relatively quickly. In fact, Jack Attack did. Jack Attack found me online within fucking seconds once upon a time. He even asked me if a certain service that we tried running was still going or not. It's not. But it's privacy for me, for my family, and I guess even for the organ. Imagine you going to the United Nations and saying, that guy that worked on this website, he's now a homeless fucking tramp. They don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah. No, so it's just that. It's just that. How long ago was that? That was at 107. It's now one. I'm only 40 minutes behind, folks. Let me catch up. Here comes Keith, Sign of Nature, with lots of Latin. Ens legis, name is fraud as it's copyrighted, so need Crown permission to use your name. I don't know, mate. Maybe, maybe not. I keep watching you guys taking a bollocking in America. You keep losing court cases. Sovereign citizens and free men of the land and all of the above. Farmer says, I think it's because you've grown up with the image of the British soldier. Here's another thing. Okay, I don't want to say too much here. Don't give too much away. You don't want big guys in the army. Big guy gets shot, needs 3 little guys to carry him. Little guy gets shot, another guy just picks him up, puts him over his back and runs a marathon with him over his back off to the mobile army hospital thing, the field hospital. Big guys are lunks. They're a pain to drag off the battlefield. So I'm told, allegedly. This is the SAS. The SAS are little. They're not the 6'6". They're the 5'6". You only need to be big enough to pull the trigger. All that extra meat to drag around if you get injured. Who's going to carry a 6'6" fucker off the battlefield under fire? No, you'd rather pick up the 5'4" guy. There's a difference. We think about it beforehand, folks. We think about these things. It's all right. Oh, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's smaller than you think. He's only 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". Let's have a look. GI or Action Man, yeah, general issue. GI Joe, but in Britain we rebranded him as Action Man. Same character basically, same toy, just different branding. Farmhouse hoping that Jake's keeping warm. 11 degrees tomorrow. Is that where you are, Keith? Yeah. I think we get a little bit warmer. I haven't looked. We're coming from 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's have a look. What's tomorrow? It's 9 here now, apparently. I've lost my thermometer again, folks. I'm probably laying on it, or Tina's laying on it. 17 degrees we get to tomorrow. 7 degrees. Oh, it's going to fall to 7 tonight. Same tomorrow. The rest of the week's 8, 9, 10s at night. But yeah, 16, 17, 18 through the day. Sorry to hear you didn't have many years with your mum. Yeah, she died young. She was 60. And a couple of days ago was the 21st anniversary of her dying. January the 9th, 2005. age 60 and a half or thereabouts. We begged her, as kids, we begged her to stop smoking. She didn't, and it got her. It got her. Karen's telling Farmer she forgot how good this film is. She's on the edge of her seat. Tax and duty is theft. You are correct. How do you put this? This is where politics goes wrong. So the word politics, the poly in politics, it's to do with cities, isn't it? Like police derives from the same word as politics. It's to do with running a city. Polis is Latin for city. I think Latin rather than Greek. Metropolis means mother city. So if you're a city, let's say that you're Carthage in Tunisia, modern day Tunisia, and you send guys off in a boat and they form another city on the south coast of Spain. So they leave Carthage and they land in Spain and they form Cartagena. The mother city, the original city that those guys came from, is the metropolis, the mother city. Mater, meta, all of these, it's derived, it's how we get the word mother and mama and all of those derivatives. But mother city, metropolis. Polis is city. But politics, police, policy, all of these words derive from how to run a city. So here's what you do. The city's going to have some costs, some fixed costs. It needs maintenance. Someone's going to clean the streets. Someone's going to light the lights. So you tax everybody. You ask everybody for a small amount, and you build a pool of money. And from that pool of money, you fund the road building and the lights. But now you want a town hall, don't you? You need a city centre. You need an office. And now, I'm in charge of a pool of money. I'm important. I'm so important. I should be paid more. And you start dipping into that pot. Now people start lining up. He's no good at that. I could do that job better. I deserve a share of that pot, not him. And they all start lining up to dip into that pot of money. And this is when it goes wrong. Now you start charging people extra. You're going to tax, instead of taxing them just enough to get by, to cover costs. Oh no, we got to get more from them. Let's double the taxes. And then you're doubling the tax, and now I'm running millions of pounds. I'm really important. I deserve a bigger salary. Oh, and I need helpers. I'm going to have to pay for a staff. But we're important. We're in charge of millions. We'll have to have more money for staff and more money for me. I'm in charge of 20 staff. I need more money. And this is where it goes wrong. This is when, instead of just taking from everybody a share to manage a pot of money, just to do the basics that are needed, they get this idea that they're important and that they're managing millions and therefore they need to be paid millions. If you don't pay me enough, I could pilfer from the pot. You got to pay me enough to make it worth my while so I don't rob from the pot. So you pay them extra so they don't rob from the pot, but unbeknownst to you, they're robbing from the pot anyway. This is politics, folks. That is what politics is. It derives from how to run a city, from the word polis, for city, polis and metropolis, police and politics. It's all how to manage and run a city. That's where all those words come from. You learnt something today, hopefully. I learnt something. What was it earlier that I learnt? Comptroller. That's right. And from computare, or whatever it was in French and Latin, and the difference between a duty and a tax we learnt. If we apply a fee to everything across the board, that's a tax. If we say a specific item, alcohol, beer, not even alcohol, that's too broad a category. But if we say beer or wines and spirits, and we apply different rates, those are duties because we've specified specific products rather than. Taxes is a broad brush. If the government picks out specific items, that's a duty. I learnt something today. Hopefully you did too. What a dick. Who is this guy? Scrolling. Karen, it's an awesome movie, especially towards the end where you're probably watching. Death and taxes are certain, and sometimes we cheat death. Very rarely. Gets us all in the end so far. I'm hoping to be part of the first generation that do escape it. As I've mentioned, one of my favourite characters, I say that as if he's not real, it is a real person, Aubrey de Grey. Aubrey, and then the D-E, French, I guess, Grey, and I think it's spelled G-R. I'm not sure whether it's an A-Y or an E-Y in this particular case, because where somebody's de, it's like van in Dutch, means from. Aubrey from, and then it's going to be a city or an area. So whether Grey is spelt the proper English way or the silly American way, who knows? Sorry, Yanks, I'm pulling your plonker a bit, but Karen's giving away the plot of the film. Past the bridge scene, I forgot. Okay. Comp means corporate. We just did this, didn't we? I guess I'm reading comp as in company and stuff. I think that's a different derivation. The comptroller we just discussed was to do with keeping scrolls and copies of accounts. The comptroller, empty your pockets. Probably. You forgot beef and beef. Oh yeah, and beef and beef. Then there was beef. There was, farmer. There was beef, 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 and beef. And this is why Americans are all 6'6". But it's why they have that link to protein. Lack of protein. So the so-called Mediterranean diet was less protein based because fish has a lot less. Basically, their meat was fish, a little bit of pork or ham, but it's less protein than beef. Also, Americans and portion fucking control. It's not just that they have beef; it's that it's like 3 inches thick and fills a plate on its own. When I went to a steakhouse when I was over there, literally the steak was on a plate of its own. The rest of the meal was a second fucking plate. And then there were sides. Good night, Delta Mike. Have a hot coffee and warm yourself up. I know it's a coffee, but it puts me. Yeah, I sometimes have a coffee at night. I don't do that whole caffeine keep awake thing. But it sounds like a couple of you are on your way to bed. Jake's off as well. Good night from me as well. Up early. Take care, everyone. Catch you next time. Catch you later, Jake. And at Farmer's heading off. Grew up on espresso. Catch you later, Farmer. Just have to be off for a bit. We'll try to back if you're still on. Good night, everyone, everybody, everywhere. Good night, Farmer, everywhere. I don't know. I don't think this is going to go long. Oh, look at that. The count is reset. When we had that last disconnect, it's reset the clock. So where are we? We're on 2 o'clock. I start at 11:30, yeah? So 2.5 hours in. I don't know how much more I'll go. Chat just started jumping, which is annoying. Okay. It says Karen and Farmer discussing the film Shaving Ryan's Privates. My left hand is getting very, very cold. A, it's out of the covers, and B, it's holding a cold can of beer. Two hours in, and I've drank a can and a half. Who's left? Who's here? If all my chat participants are either busy watching films elsewhere or are leaving me, is there anybody still to chat to? Who, what, when, where, why? Don't forget how. Kipling, was it? If you can answer these questions, who, how, what, when, where, why? It's a Kipling quote to do with journalism or writing. I don't remember the specifics. It wasn't then you are a man, my son. It wasn't that one. If you can keep your head when all around are losing theirs, if blah, 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 then you are a man, my son. Wasn't that one? Which gets slated now. The feminists hate it. It was a father talking to his son. It's not sexist. He was talking to his son. He was leaving a note, instructions for the next generation. He had a son, so he was talking to his son. Then you are a man, my son. His son can't be anything but a man once he grows up, can he? Politics again, folks. Politics. Fucking hands are cold. I'm not going to stroke. I am going to stroke Tina. I'm going to cuddle Tina. Just get this hand warm. Probably wake her up by putting a cold hand on her. Oh, that's your head. I was aiming for your back. Where are you? You're the wrong way round. Okay. You got your back against me. You're facing. Okay, I didn't realise. Okay, babe. Have my cold hands. I probably, if she starts whining or barking now because I put my cold hands on her, she's moving. She's detected the coldness of my hand. That's what you're there for, darling. My little hot water bottle. This is why you can't leave me. I'll freeze to death without you. Huh? My little hot water bottle. Yeah. Let me check power levels on the EcoFlow. I don't want to go too low. Oh, we're fine. 41. Tomorrow's due to be fairly sunny again. Farmer, I thought you'd gone. You're still here asking questions. What are we talking about? Laugh my ass off. It's getting late, or else I'm just tired. You shouldn't be tired. What are you there? It's only 8 o'clock at night, yeah? Probably even earlier. Maybe 6 or 7 where you are. Time zones in the States and Canada. I'm not sure of. You can't be tired at 6 in the evening, for fuck's sake. What are you doing? Let me. Okay. Jake saying good night to Karen. Karen saying good night to Father. Everybody saying good night. Don't leave me, folks. There are 10 of you still here. Okay, there are 11 of you still here. Let me do the opening spiel. I guess there might be some people out there. When these things end, when I do one of these slower ones with fewer people, it surprises me at the end that it gives me stats and says 250 people arrived and started watching. Obviously, people trickle in, coming at random when they see the talk to a tramp stuff. Karen's still here, but you're watching the film still, yeah? People trickle in and out, and so every now and again, I should do this more often. I should introduce me and the channel. In case there are first timers who've just seen the thumbnail. You've seen the film's finished. Okay. So, the channel is Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. I am the eponymous hero of said channel. I am the Delta Mike. Not my real name. It's my initials, DM. Turned NATO phonetic alphabet, Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, etc. Delta Mike, DM. But I'll go by Mike. It's become a nickname now. Everybody makes the assumption. Everyone goes with it. It's easier than calling me Delta Mike and knowing to type all that out. So Mike will do. It's 4 letters. It's no problem. So Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Down and out. A homeless guy, a tramp, a hobo, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some would say a bum. Someone who lives rough, perhaps on the streets. In my case, it's in a field. And nowadays, I got all posh. Now I've got a tent. Didn't used to have. Used to just be in the field. But then I built a shelter out with 6 broom handles and a tarpaulin. Then someone got me a tent, a second-hand tent. And then I got online and I make my presence felt. There is a PayPal link in the description, folks, if anybody's interested in such things. It's currently not pinned above chat because I am not desperate for cash at the minute, folks. I have got enough to survive for quite a while. So I don't push that too much at the minute. But anyway, go back. Delta Mike, down and out. We covered that. In Torrevieja is a city on the southeast coast of Spain, Costa Blanca South. About an hour south of Alicante, about an hour north of Murcia. And that's the region, Costa Blanca South. As explained in the title, I'm a homeless guy, a Brit. I'm a homeless Brit trapped by circumstance in Spain. And the circumstances in brief, my bank has thousands of pounds of my money. Not big thousands, but you know, a few thousands, 5, 6, 7,000. My bank don't accept that I'm me. The last time I passed I passed all their telephone banking fucking shenanigans. Give us the fifth and seventh number from your password or whatever it was. Passed all that. Tried to get some money out. Transfer some money from my. Basically, it's an account I didn't use much. It's my rainy day fund. Tried to move money from my rainy day fund across to Barclays, my kind of daily bank, my current. That suddenly they didn't accept I was me. They'd closed the account, not closed. They declared the account dormant because I'd not been using it. Duh, rainy day fund. Of course I wasn't using it. First time I tried to use it, oh no, we've kind of closed that account. We declared it dormant. We've taken that money. In order to get your money back, you have to walk into your branch in your hometown, back in the UK, with your passport and 3 other forms of ID. A little bit of a legal issue. Spanish police won't let me leave the country. Can't get back to Britain. Can't get my money. I need money to get a lawyer to deal with legal issue. Legal issue means I can't leave the country to get my money. Bam, bam, bam. Catch 22, kind of. I would have said Mexican standoff, but that needs 3 parties. It's more of a catch 22. The things you learn watching The Big Bang Theory. Mexican standoff. So yeah, those are the circumstances. My bank won't let me get my money. The Spanish police won't let me go get my money. And what do? When your rent's due on your apartment and your bank won't let you have your money, you go live with friends for a few months. Friends kick you out because you can't stay there forever, let's face it. And so you walk off into the sunset. Spend a month living in the park, get moved on from the park, live in a field, and 3.5 years later, still here. It's not 3.5 since I moved into the field. It's over 3.5 since I was made homeless. August the 14th, whatever 3 years ago was. 2023, I'm guessing. Although working out dates and years is tricky. It could have been 2022. Could it? Depending on. I don't know. You tell me. I'm lost. I was in the park when her Madge popped her clogs. When Liz left this mortal coil. That was just before I moved into this field. I moved into this field October the 10th of whatever year that was. I can't work out dates and years. When you've got to go like 2.5 or 3 and a bit, I can't. It's like trying to work out hours. If it's 2 in the morning and you want to go back 4 hours, my brain doesn't work that way. That would be 10 whatever at night, 22:40, let's say. Anyway, bad example. That was too easy. Here we go. Fama still talking. Yes, Mike. I got in at 3:30 a.m. Haven't really gotten any sleep since this morning. So tired, but not sleeping. Just have some things to do now. Okay, mate. Sign of Nature says VHS for some reason. Video home system? Video cassette home system. What does VHS stand for? Something like that, wasn't it? Video home system, I think. Film's finished. Oh, okay. You're asking Karen whether she was watching on video. I think it was it on TV? Or were you streaming, Karen? I'm not sure. Our equal tempers of heroic hearts are, I think it's meant to be our, is it? Our equal tempers of heroic hearts made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Are you quoting some more Kipling at me? That sounds like Kipling. Okay, folks, I've caught up with chat, I think. And just in case I'm behind by masses, I'm going to go top chat and then I'm going to switch back to live chat. You should all be on live chat, folks. If you're watching this and you want, firstly, don't just watch the video. You have to have chat open. You want chat. But don't just rely on the default chat. By default, you were in a thing called top chat. You will miss about 20% of all the messages posted, especially anything that's controversial or sweary. And we all like to fucking swear around here. So you will be missing, if you just leave things at the default, you will be missing things. My hands are still cold from, I don't know why I'm holding the beer and not drinking it. I think I'm not drinking it fast enough because it's so cold. It's come out of my, God, I'm about to say it, aren't I? It's come out of my freezer. Tramp, field, freezer. Fuck yeah. Am I tramping, am I camping, or am I glamping? These are the questions of the age, folks. I got my solar panel, I got my EcoFlow River 2, I've got my Samsung Galaxy Tab A9, or however the wording. Is it Galaxy Tab, or is it just a Samsung Tab? I think it's a Galaxy Tab A9. I got my Samsung Flip. Is it just a Flip 4 or is it a Galaxy Flip 4? Brand names, brand extensions. We're back to my marketing background. I think it's a Galaxy Flip 4. But I might be wrong on that one. I'll admit to not being sure on that one. I've got my lantern back here that's it's not solar. Well, it can be charged through solar. It's currently got a wire on it. I want to be... Is that too bright? I think it's getting dim. Maybe it's not charging. Maybe the cable's come loose. I've had to turn it from the middle setting to the top. Whoop, because I thought it was getting... Which one are you? You're the white cable. You're definitely in, yeah? Oh, yeah, look, I unplugged it, went dim. A little bit brighter when I... Okay, folks. Itchy nose, itchy nose. Topics. Who's here? Who's here? Whoa, 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 whoa. Farmer almost got banned. It was a misclick. It was a misclick. It's just a Samsung Flip 4, you think? Okay. I thought it was a Galaxy. This is definitely... I was looking at this the other... I think it was earlier today. It might have been yesterday. Fairly sure it had Galaxy in the name. So where do we go? Down from the bottom into the cog and about this device. Where's that at? About tablet. Tablet name. Galaxy Tab A9. I would do the same for the phone, but it's in use. Galaxy Tab A9. I think it's still got Galaxy. I think it's a Galaxy Tab. Galaxy Flip 4, but that might just be me. I think once a company has a brand that's working, they tend not to ditch it. They will extend and add another word after the brand that works, after the name that's working. So it's, instead of just being a Tab 9, it's a Galaxy Tab 9, A9. Who knows? Actually, that's a little bit. Do you mind if I turn that down a bit, folks? That's a bit too bright in my face now that I mention it. Oh, hands are cold. Where's my little hot water bottle? Here she is. Here she is. I'd introduce you, but I think she's asleep behind me. You've turned over now, haven't you? Now you're facing me. Before you had your back to me. How does she get around and I don't notice? She's flipped over entirely. I don't remember her moving. She had her back to me and was pressing right against me. Now it's her legs that are against me, and I don't get the full benefit of the body heat. It must have been when I put my cold hands in before and put them on her belly. What's your daddy Dean like? Oh, I've done it again. What's your daddy like? Eh? What's he like? Shh. Ignore the fact I just doxed myself. If you post that name in chat, your message gets you're sent to the shadow realm. Only the message. You don't. You don't get banned or anything. But the real name isn't allowed in chat. Just to discourage its use so that other people don't see and hear. And like I said before, it's a privacy thing. Got family back home. I don't want to be embarrassing family, former customers, whatever. Oh, I am colder than usual. I feel colder than usual, even though I know it's not. What's that from? Oh yeah. No, 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 no. It's not food. She has a plastic bag, Russell. It's food. I was delving around down the side. I said I found batteries earlier that had been missing. I found 2 of my 3 missing rechargeable AA's. And while I was delving around, I pull out a bag and it's got 4 slices of bread in. It's been there fucking months. It's fine. It's white sliced loaf. White sliced bread. A white sliced family loaf, pan familiar from Mercadona, does not go off because nothing in nature will touch. The only thing in nature that will touch it is Tina. If I leave it unattended, come back and find the fucking bag torn open and the corner of the bread, corner of each slice gone, like with the remnants of the other loaf. But this loaf, it's been down the side. It must be 3 months. It's fine. Not mouldy. No ants, no rats, no mice. No, nothing wants it. This is the shit that you can tear up and throw on the floor in front of the pigeons and seagulls. Nobody wants it. What does that say about it? I'm happy that it's not gone off. It means I've got some bread in the house or in the tent. But is it safe to eat? I don't mean is it safe to eat because it's old. I mean, if nothing in fucking nature wants it, is it safe to eat? Should I eat it? I'm in nature. I'm like the only thing. Humans are the only thing in nature, and our doggy friends here. We're the only ones that will eat it. The birds don't want it. The mice don't want it. The rats don't want it. The ants don't want it. The mold doesn't want. The mold won't fucking touch it. If Fleming, was it Alexander Fleming? If Fleming had fucking white sliced, if he'd had modern day white sliced loaf in his fucking lab, penicillin would have never been discovered. Penicillin won't infect this shit. How many marvelous medical discoveries are we missing out on because nothing in nature will touch this fucking bread? The next penicillin has remained undiscovered because it's the wrong bread. This is my hypothesis. This is why science isn't moving forward as fast as it should, because we've got the wrong fucking bread. I could postulate that hypothesis. The reason science isn't progressing, it's the wrong bread. Cheers, folks. I'm gibbering. I don't know. Basically, I just told myself a joke I've never heard before, which is a nice trick. I remembered not to crush the glass. Crush the can. Next can out. Empty goes in as part of the tripod, farmer, if you're still there. But the light lost some of its power. Light goes back on its 3-can tripod, even though one of the cans is empty. It's the back can, so if it falls away and it doesn't take out the phone. Okay, folks, where are we? I am gibbering. Tramp in the fields. What do you know? Come on. Who's out there? There are only 8 of you out there now. The numbers are dropping off. Come and talk to a tramp. That's why you came here. You saw the thing. You saw the thumbnail, TrampCast Hangout, and you thought, let's go and talk to a tramp. Maybe you saw the doggie. Is she still awake? Her head's here. Is it? No, she's gone back under. Can I? Hey, babe. Can we talk to the people? Hey. Oh, which one you facing? You've gone back to facing that way. Oh no, your head's under the pillow. Okay, I got you. Took me It took me a while to work out the topology. I didn't know which way around you were, what shape you were. Oh, you're awake. She's moving. Let's see whether we can do this, folks. I'm not sure. Have I shown her once already tonight? I don't think I did. Let's spin the camera. Whoa, let's not show you anything too bad. Put the light on. Let me turn around. And behind me here, we have the real star of the show. Oh, you got my shirt. Okay, there she is, look. Hello, babe. Hello, you. Look at that. You little star. I know you don't really like the big light. I know. Oh, keep the blanket off just for now. Keep the blanket off. Hey, babe. Hey, baby girl. Daddy's little girl. Yeah. You're pushing your nose under me. Right? Here we go, babe. Your ears are nice and warm now, at least. Hey. Warm ears. You're hiding from us. Oh, sorry, babe. I caught you. Trying to navigate my hand by using the phone, and the two don't line up because she's magnified on the screen. Hello, you. Oh, it's my little girl. My little girl. That's Tina. She's tired. Let's leave her alone for now. Can I put the blanket back over you? You want to go under? You're going underground. Okay, folks. Oh, hand in front of the camera. No, got it away quick enough. Right, we are. What time are we on? 2:22. I guess we're going to go until 2:30. We're going to go another 5 or 6 minutes. 6 or 7 minutes. We'll wrap it up at that point, I think. We're not going to hit the 4-hour mark. Like the video earlier that's still being processed by YouTube. If it's under 4 hours, they'll take a day to process it. If you hit 4 hours, they'll take 20 minutes to process it. And I don't think we're going to hit 4. We start at 11:30 my time. And we're coming up on 2:30. So we just come up on 3 hours. I don't think we're going to go for 4. I could. There's just not enough of you there to... not enough of you to bother with. I don't mean it like that. But once we drop below 10, it's a little bit embarrassing. We could be doing this on Skype well, Skype doesn't exist anymore. We could be doing this on Messenger or WhatsApp instead of on a public forum like YouTube. I pulled my can out, didn't I? But what I didn't do was open it. Let's do that. Right? We got 14 thumbs up, folks. If we hit 20, that can attract other people in. If there's anybody out there that hasn't hit the thumbs up yet, please think about it. Don't subscribe. Don't. Not until you've seen 4 or 5 of my videos. I am a little bit... It's not that I'm controversial. I'm not particularly political. But I will do things and say things just because you can. Or just because you should be able to. And some people don't like that. They don't like me dropping the N-bomb, as I call it, the N-word. I will say that from time to time. That offends some people, they leave. I don't say at anybody, I'm not calling anybody it. But if I want to discuss the word and discuss whether you can say it or not, that's usually the context in which it gets mentioned. And I will say it. I was doing an audio book and the next chapter had the word in. And it was a bit of a discussion about whether to do the audio book with it or without it. In the end, my phone broke and I lost the recording anyway. And I never got around to re-recording it. 3 Men in a Boat, if anybody wants to know what the book was. And it does have the word in. And it's a little bit like, what's the war film with Kenneth Moore? Where he's in charge of Bomber Command. And his dog... He had a very black dog, as do I. But he called his dog that word, the N-word. So the whole question that, like, if I'm discussing that film, am I allowed to say that word or am I not? Even discussing the fact that that word is there, to me it seems ridiculous that society seems to be saying you can't even say the word. You're not calling anybody it, you're discussing whether that word is appropriate or not. And so it's appropriate to have the word in the conversation, isn't it? What about the white guy that was called up on stage by there's a rapper and he's end this and end that and end the other, and he calls a guy up on and the guy's singing. And he's a good singer. He's singing it right. He's doing right. He knows the words. He's got all right, but he says the word instead of saying "oh." Instead of going "oh," I'm not saying that. He said it. That singer, that rapper, has the guy thrown out of the fucking concert. The black guy rapping's just said the word 100 times. And he's called someone up. Someone else is singing the exact same song. And he's not allowed to say it because of the colour of his skin. How is that not racism? And in discussing it, so today I'm not saying the words. I'm just saying that sometimes I do say the word. I'm not calling you it. I'm not saying he's it. I'm not talking about them and those people. You see, you're not even allowed to say those people. But I'm not using the word like that. I'm discussing whether you can say the word. And in discussing saying the word, I'll say the word. So I'm a little bit controversial. This was all an aside from don't subscribe. Not until you've seen a few of my videos. In general, the channel is about me, my life, my struggle. Mein Kampf, if you're German. Don't need to spell it out anymore. I will say the words because it just means my struggle. His biography was called My Struggle. The little Austrian painter bloke with one bollock. The other's in the Albert Hall. See, I was reading Twitter the other day. Do you read Twitter? I was scrolling through it anyway, whether you read it or not. And there's a bloke, someone took a picture of a bloke sat on the train reading Mein Kampf. And this channel took the piss. They were like, oh my God, the far right are everywhere. Look at this cunt. Oh, how fucking dare he? Gathering knowledge. You read up about the bad guys to understand the difference between the bad guys and the good guys. Reading a book should never be persecuted. Being a reader, gathering knowledge and information. Reading about bad guys doesn't mean you're the bad guy. Gathering knowledge. There was a case a couple of years ago of a lad. Now this guy, it turns out, was a little bit of an extremist, but he had political books covering the whole spectrum. Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto, Matey Boy's Little Red Book, and Mein Kampf, and he had them all. The whole spectrum, left and right. He got put in jail just for owning the books. The police got a search warrant because someone told them he had books. And he ended up getting locked up. Turns out the guy was, and this is almost an aside from the legal case, he was a bit of an extremist, and he may have been planning to bomb something. I don't. That's not what he was locked up for. He was locked up because of the possession of books, the possession of knowledge. It's the most frightening fucking thing I've ever heard. Most physicists know the principles of how to make an atom bomb. Anyone who's got a degree in physics has the core principles, and if you've got a PhD in physics, you know how to build one. Now, knowing the principles and being a good enough engineer to actually build one, it needs nation-level, state-level investment to procure the bits and to do the doings. But the knowledge, it's every day. You sit on a train Somebody on that train knows how to build a nuclear bomb. Think about that. Do we lock them up because they've got the knowledge? They know the principles, the core principles. You sit on a train, probably more than one person on that train knows the principles of how you build a nuclear bomb. Certainly an atomic one, but a nuclear bomb. Are we locking people up for the possession of knowledge? Keir Starmer wants to block Twitter or X because people might get knowledge. It's a progression. You start with, oh, this guy's got Mein Kampf, he must be a radical right-winger. It starts there, and it builds. You can't say this word. That's a hate crime. It's not. A hate crime is me beating you over the head. Beating you over the head, that's a crime. Beating you over the head because you're Jewish, or because you're black, or if I'm black, beating you over the head because you're whitey. Come on, Chalky. That's a hate crime is a crime motivated because of race or some other protected factor, disabled or female or I don't know, whatever. Reading a book, gathering knowledge, acquiring, learning things, or leering, as we say now, if you're in Minnesota. If you're leering new things. That was tremendous. I did enjoy that whole thing. Bloke got 100 million views because of the Leering Centre. If you're not sure what I'm on about, ask. I will give a quick recap of that. But going back to my point, a little bit controversial. Will speak my mind, even though I'm a tramp in a foot. I don't do big political rants in general, but some things are primary. Some things are so important. Locking people away because they have knowledge. Featuring somebody on Twitter because they're reading a book and you don't like which book. What are we becoming? Trying to turn Twitter off because Twitter used to be on your side, but then it got bought by a bloke who's on the other side. You were all for Twitter when it was on your side. When Twitter was controlled by governments during COVID, and whole government departments were set up departments were set up within Twitter to liaise with governments about what information should be not turned off exactly, but should be minimized. What search terms, what words, what people should be less findable because they oppose or because they question. The left was all for Twitter when it was controlled by the left and when it liaised with the left. Then Elon bought it, demolished those departments, released the papers showing how Twitter had been in cahoots with governments, and turned the place, I'm not going to say he turned it right wing, he made it be less left wing. And suddenly now the left want to turn Twitter off and block it. That's not on. I'm against that. Doesn't matter which way my politics are. Arthur Scargill fan, if anybody's asking. Originally. Arthur Scargill. So I'm quite left wing, or was. Nowadays I'm a Nazi apparently. Because I didn't like Star Wars. It's a long story. We'll cover that another time. I'm now right wing. Allegedly. Far right, not just right wing. I would say nowadays I'm right of centre. but I'm far right. according, they throw these words around, they don't mean anything anymore. You get called a Nazi, you just say, yeah, okay, mate. Off to the fucking death camp with you. Fuck off. Throw it back at them. It's lost all meaning because it's so overused. Anybody to the right of Stalin is far right. You could still be left wing, really, but you're to the right of a certain group and you're a Nazi. Okay, if you want. Zeke Heil. What do you do with such people and such thinking? We've got a prime minister wanting to ban not just a website, but a whole platform. Because in general, they've got a different opinion than him. People have to stand up against that. You can be against Twitter all you want, that's fine. If you're a normal if you're the prime minister and you're wanting to ban shit, you've got to be very careful there. Because if that's okay, then the next guys who get in on the other side can ban, I don't know, ban the Daily Mirror or whatever, all the left-wing media. The right, when they get elected, can ban your shit. Lock you up. Let's ban Keir Starmer. Let's lock Keir Starmer up, says the right, once they're in power. Once you start down that path, it's a very, very dangerous path with a very slippery slope. You go for them, they come for you. In the end, we're all locking each other up. Basically leads to civil war. Which I think America may be on the verge of. It's going to be a very important year or two. The next year or two. A lot boils down to how do you deal with things that you disagree with? How do you cope? Do you deny them? Do you shut? Do you just put up with them and say, hey, okay, you're in power now. Next time it'll be our turn. Do you wait for the next election? Or do you start rioting? Or do you start taking shots and clipping ears and killing firemen who are in the background? What do you do when the other side are in power? How do you react? Says more about you than about the person who's in power or the party that's in power. How you react to defeat, how you react when you're not the ones in charge, when you lost the election. Do you just wait your turn, wait for the next election? Or do you get radical? Do you start protesting? Do you start driving your car at federal officials or at policemen? Big questions in the next few years. So, and this is all just me saying, don't subscribe until you've watched a few videos. I went off on a tangent from a tangent. Don't subscribe until you've watched a few videos. I'm not overly political. I'm kind of thoughtful and analytical, and I wonder where things are going. And I'm not altogether happy with the direction I see things going. And it's not about whether you're left or right. It's about those deeper issues. If you see someone on a train reading Mein Kampf, do you try to embarrass him in front of the world? Or do you think, oh, a student, someone who's trying to learn something new, he's reading up on something. He's reading up on a bad guy's autobiography. Or do you think, fucking Nazi! Do you stab him, shoot him, hit him over the head with a baseball bat? What do you do? I shake his hand and say, carry on learning. Nothing wrong with information, with knowledge, with education. Learn something new each day, folks, as I just did earlier myself. A tax is a fee applied by government across a broad brush, across a spectrum, without naming items. A duty is where they say, beer, we're going to add 10% to that. Wines and spirits, 12%. When the government singles out items, that's a duty. Things coming into the country, that's a duty. In general, That's a tax. I worked for Customs and Excise, which is now Her Majesty. Okay. Customs and Excise became Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, which is now obviously His Majesty's Revenue and Customs. I worked for them, and until today, I didn't know the difference between a duty and a tax. I learnt something. Hopefully you did. I was going to end this stream about 10 minutes ago, wasn't I? Yes, DM, free speech is definitely under threat. Don't know why people are not enraged. Fear, I suppose. Yeah, if you express your rage too vociferously, or even just too eloquently, you'll have 6 police knocking at the door, arresting you, and then they do a search subject to arrest, and they search your living room, and they turn to each other and say, "Ho, bit too Brexity for my liking." The fuck? You're an arm of the state, rifling through someone's belongings, passing judgment on the majority. You Remainers were the fucking minority. I'm not even expressing which side I'm on. I'm just saying Brexit won 52-48. And you got an arm of the state, arrests someone, rifles through their living room, and turns and on body camera says, "Bit too Brexity for me." Like he's some kind of fucking radical. Part of the 52, you're part of the majority. How fucking dare they? Regardless of your politics, you should be mad as fuck that an arm of the state has that attitude. Who the fuck are you to be judging, passing comment, denigrating the majority? What the fuck? That got me angry. This was the case of a couple whose child had special needs and was in school, and the school headmaster left under disgrace, as far as I can remember, and rather than following the proper, there's a laid down procedure for advertising the position, and you look at internal recruitment, but also external, you ask for applications, and there's a process and a way of appointing. They didn't do any of that. The school just appointed some cunt from outside. And these parents said, "Whoa, wait a minute now. Hold on, wait a minute. Are you sure?" And basically they sent 2 emails expressing concern. After the first, they were told, "Fuck off, decisions made, don't talk to us again." They sent a follow-up email. And the school contacted the police about being harassed. And 6 police turned up at their door, arrested them there and then on the spot, and then started searching their house. And you're like, what? The emails weren't even, the emails didn't even contain a single swear word. Mine would have. After being told, "No, go away, nothing to do with you, decisions made, stop bitching." My email back would have been, but it's legal to swear. It is not illegal to, even in public, it's not illegal to swear. Until you rise to the point of either making physical threats of violence, or you could be disturbing the peace if you do it loudly enough in front of enough people. But not just like in front of 1 or 2. But this was a private communication to a school about an issue of relevance. There were parents of children at the school. They got arrested. The house searched. And the police are passing comments between themselves about the contents of their books and their political stance. And even worse for me isn't just the fact that that happened, which is bad, but that the fact that someone from the minority was disparaging the majority. The fuck? In this particular case, even more offensive, these people were arrested at like 3 in the afternoon or something, arrested and driven off, released 1:30 in the morning at a police station 30 miles away in an area they didn't even know, and just told, right, off you go. The fuck do you do without your car, without your money, without your belongings, 30 miles from home at 1:30 in the fucking morning? Incredible. What would you do if you were just dropped off now, 30 miles from home, without your belongings? 1:30 in the morning. The fuck? What do you do? Ring a taxi and say, hey mate, I've got no money, but if you get me home, I'll get my bank card and then we can go at the cash machine. The fuck? What kind of system is that? What kind of government is that? The police are the violent arm of government. When the government says, pay this tax, do that, it's all under threat of violence. If you don't pay those taxes, you get dragged off, you get arrested, you get physically restrained, put in handcuffs, dragged off and put in a room that's all concrete and with metal bars. And if you resist the arrest, it's actual battery, it's actual physical violence. But being arrested, being dragged away, being taken from your life, from your home, that's violence. That's a violent act. If you did it to someone else, you'd be in prison. But the government do it to you. And that's the threat of every law. Obey or else. And it's always backed up by violence. Good night, Karen. I think I just saw that you're off. You're off to bed. I am in a bit of a ranty mood. I wasn't. I'm gonna call it quits pretty soon. Where are we in terms of time? 2:47 my time. I'll go till 3. I'll go till the top of the hour, another 13 minutes or so, 12 or 13 minutes. If there are enough people to what are your thoughts, folks? How do you feel? Am I extreme in my vehemence about how free speech has been eroded and eradicated? Oh yeah, you got the engineer coming for the boiler, well, for the central heating. Get the Arga. Do you have to get the Arga fired up first? Or do you need it to be cool so he can work? I'm not sure how that's going to work. Does he want a roaring fire before he gets there? Not sure. Talk to me, folks. Talk to me, Goose. It won't fire. Okay. So it's the fact that won't come on. I thought it was like the pumping or something. Okay, it won't even come on. Since COVID, there's been a strange shift globally. Hard not to see 1984 stuff, says Atari. You're quite correct. I think it was going on before. I think COVID made it more overt, brought it out into the open what was happening. You may not say this. In particular, the so-called Twitter files, that's the term to search for, folks, where governments were chasing Twitter to kind of stifle certain viewpoints. Excuse me. So let's say a lot of people are uncertain about RNA-based vaccines. There's a lot to be uncertain about. Now, this leads on to a whole topic about vaccination in general that I don't really want to go. I am not a conspiracy theorist when it comes to vaccines in general. Vaccines, in my mind, are one of mankind's greatest achievements. The eradication of smallpox. Like, we wiped that. We did genocide on fucking smallpox. It is gone. It exists in about 3 labs in the world in case we ever need to do experiments and shit. But there was a single case in 1977 or something. Gone. One of mankind's greatest achievements. Vaccination has saved around 1 billion lives. Headed for 1 billion since its inception. Vaccines where you take a Oh, I couldn't remember this word the other day. Then I looked it up and I knew it, and now I don't know it again. No, there's a word. Anyway, you take a dead vaccine, you kill it, and then you use particles from it, and you create a vaccine, and attenuated. Fuck, I got there a little bit slow. You take an attenuated vaccine. Basically, you kill it, you chop it up, and you take particles of it, you take bits of it. Make a vaccine, it works. We more or less, 99% of us agree, vaccines, great, save lives. COVID vaccine wasn't that. That's not what COVID vaccine was. It was different. It was new. And they were using it in ways that even the creator of the technique said, no, that's not how it's meant to be. They did it different. They cheated on the testing. There were shenanigans. This is why it didn't work as well as it was predicted to. It was supposed to be, take it once, you're done, you're good for life, we will eradicate COVID. Oh, no, it doesn't stop you getting it, it stops you spreading it. Oh, no, it doesn't stop you getting it. No, it doesn't stop you spreading it, but you'll need a booster anyway. The fuck kind of vaccine is this? The vaccine's so good it doesn't work, so you have to take it again. Now, it's true, there are some things like the flu vaccine. There are so many variants of flu. Whichever one is popular that year, you need a vaccine that's tailored, that's more targeted to that. So boosters and things like TB, you take once, and if you get rid, you might need a booster shot. But then that's it, you're done. You're not getting 4 TB booster shots a year because the vaccine is so great. The vaccine was so great that you took it once, maybe twice when you were 14, and that's you done for life. Some things you might need every 10 years or so. You don't need 10 a year. Something was different. And people were discussing this, people discussing their doubts, and the government were working hand in glove with Twitter to suppress that discussion, to suppress topics, to suppress people. It's very different. And it was kind of right in front of us. But until Elon bought Twitter, it was right there, but people didn't see it. When he released the files, the Twitter files about what governments were doing, yeah, we need to downplay this word, this phrase. Oh, these people. Oh, he's got 4 million followers. He's too big a voice. Can we get him on the down low? And it's there in the papers. It's there in the paperwork. The government literally was saying this and doing this. The American government, the UK government, the French, all the governments. Once Twitter set up this department to work and to liaise with governments, all the governments were there crying for it. That's worrying. And they've carried on with different things, trying to downplay certain people, certain topics. So COVID was a turning point. I don't think it got worse at that point. I think it became more apparent to us. I think it was already happening. Just to go back to your point, since COVID, there's been a strange shift globally. I think we've opened our eyes, and like you see the BBC reporting on a story, the Welsh choir boy. So Wales, for anyone who doesn't know, Wales is like 99.5% white. You get a murder, and the reporting from the police and from the media, the type of murder, the type of attack was just so obviously a jihadist kind of attack. Certain groups commit certain kinds of crimes and other groups don't do those things. Running through the streets stabbing randomly is typically a jihadist thing. You want to go on a stabbing spree, it's one of two actually. It's a radical Muslim, or it's an Afro-Caribbean schizophrenic. And those are your two groups. Wales 99.5% white, and the police. No, 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 it's not an Islamist. No, 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 whoa, whoa, it's a Welsh choir boy. It's a former Welsh choir boy. And like a week later, a picture comes out, and he's got the afro. I mean, he looks like he's the archetypal gollywog. I said it. I'm not talking about him. He looks like the gollywog looked, the doll with the big hair and the. You're not allowed to say gollywog anymore, but this is what I'm saying about don't press the subscribe button till you've seen me in action. Welsh choir. The picture that comes to mind for someone in Britain when you say Welsh choir boy is Aled Jones. Little, plump, blonde, white kid. He's fucking. The afro and the. But radical, he's got the eyes and stabby, stabby, kill people. No, no, no. He's not an Islamist. He's a Welsh choir boy. 6 months later, during a parliamentary review, it emerges that they found fundamental Islamist propaganda. So he was a jihadist after all. What do you do, folks? Anyway, I was going to wrap it up, wasn't I? I'm going to wrap it up in about 4 minutes. They might put a bug in your tent, Mike. Keep an eye out. Yeah, this is true. I'm very suspicious of them. I'm watching out for them. Hey, babe. You all right? You're trying to get out. Oh, Daddy fart. You don't want to be under the covers when Daddy's doing the Dutch oven. Hey, babe. Give me the cuddles. 4 minutes and then I'm coming for cuddles with you. Yeah? 4 minutes. Oh, you turned your ear inside out. I got you. There's my guild. Okay. I got distracted by my doggy darling. I got to plug this back in, folks. I don't even know. We were low on power before I started the stream. Oh, we're on 80 odd percent. We're all right. 83. All good. What's going on here? Nothing. Just a couple of notifications. So, folks, thank you very much for joining me this evening. The numbers are dwindling. I am coming to an end. It has been, where are we? We're coming from 3 o'clock. I started at 11:30, didn't I? That's 3.5 hours. We're not going to reach 4. We're not going to make 4 hours whereby Google stroke YouTube do all the post processing within about 15 minutes. We're not going to get to that. So this is going to hang now until about 9 o'clock tomorrow night, when I'll be able to tell people that the live stream, what do you call it? The live chat replay will be available. I don't know if this afternoon's food, I guess this afternoon's cookery program hasn't finished processing yet. Let's have a look. Oh, just bear with me. Bear with me. No, my Sunday morning sunrise is the last one that's officially only watched by 58 people. That's my worst performing video in forever. I went out to capture fucking sunrise and nobody's watched it. I did miss the sunrise. We got stalled on the way there. I had to stop to tie Tina's belt. I'm carrying her, so she's got a belt sling around her waist. It's digging into my hand, so I stopped to do that. Did a quick video. Turned the corner. We bumped into a lady walking her little doggy, Rocky, I think he was called, and so we stopped to talk to and play with Rocky a little bit. And by the time I looked up, the sun was already just above the horizon, but we missed the actual sunrise. That's a shame. But only 58 people watched my sunrise video. What's wrong with you people? It was lovely. It's fucking cold. That time in the morning. It's roughly, what was it? Roughly 8:30 sunrise at the minute. Maybe 8:15. I did set an alarm so that I could go there and get there, and then missed it because of little Rocky. What do you know? Such is life, folks. Such is life. We are on 3 o'clock right now, folks. So I'm gonna call it quits here. I think I need to go for a wee. I need to go to the loo. Let's stop saying we. I'm gonna go to the loo, and we'll call it quits here. I don't know whether I can leave in the manner to which you've become accustomed. I don't know whether it's a little bit. Would it be cruel to do? You are awake? Okay. Come here. Let me just put this back here. It's okay. You're gonna say goodnight to the peoples. The peoples are leaving. I have only just plugged this in. Now I'm gonna unplug it again. Unnecessary wear and tear on the port. I'm gonna turn the camera, and I'm going to put the light on, and then we're gradually going to introduce the light to my lady. I have to stop looking. When I'm looking at the camera, I try and move my hand. I get it wrong because of the magnification on the screen. Hey babe, hey babe. Oh, are you just resting on my hand? Oh, but the people want to see you, Tina. Hey babe, hey babe. Yeah, that's a lovely cuddle. Thank you for the cuddle. Here we go. There's a look for the peoples. Say night to the peoples. Okay, folks. From Tina and from me, Delta Mike. Out.